What's up, everybody, and welcome to Shapes of Pooping, the weekly conversational podcast all about bidets that's unedited, unfiltered, and most importantly, unhinged. I'm one of your hosts, Stat Menson, Neocharge on PSN, and joining me for episode number 67 is the Potty Squatty Encyclopedia himself, Hob Barrowman, Leon Lion Hartley on PSN. What's up, man? How's it going?
Ixnay on the Oderley April Ools Fay.
Yes, indeed. Also joining us, you know him, you love him, and he is an expert on tactical tush telemetry, Shaleb Kiff, Admiral Merps on PSN. What's up, dude? You ready to get into a conversation about cleaning your bottom?
I am.
Excellent.
The fun fact about this is I'm actually on the toilet right now. So
Yeah.
If you guys want me to crank up that microphone to know how healthy I am, please just ask.
Yeah, definitely. On point.
Who does number 2 work for?
Oh, it's me.
Love it.
It's me right now.
But yeah, we wanted to take this episode and take this opportunity to talk all about bidets, why you should use them, why they're healthy for your butthole. You know, I use a model. It's called the Ass Blaster 5000, and it has 3 settings on it. It's ooh, and oh my fucking God, what was that? I like the oh my God, what the fuck was that setting because it really gets in those, hard to reach places. And dare I say, it's a little pleasurable at the same time. Just saying.
I mean, you get what you pay for, quite frankly,
Exactly.
when it comes to stuff like that. That's at least the way I look at it. I don't know exactly what model number. I think mine might be one of those beta early test options where there's just one called Blast the Ass. That's it. I mean, it's wonderful.
I think I've heard of that one. That's that's as one of those as seen on TVs models, right? Yeah.
Man,
They're like,
peasants.
yeah. Oh, what do you have? Tell the audience what you have, because our audience, I mean, we've had a lot of write-ins about this. They're like, hey, how do you guys clean your asses when you take a shit? And we just really wanted to take an entire episode and talk about bidets. So what do you use, Bob?
So mine's imported from France, Eau de Toilette. And, I got to say, it does a really good job. But my favorite setting on there is the water drinking fountain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, you got to have that. After you're done dropping a deuce, right? You get thirsty. It's a process. You drop the kids off at the pool. You turn around, you get yourself a little drink. Yep, exactly. So Lowe's has some good models. I like the Japanese models, honestly, because well, dude, they have heated seats, right? I like my ass warm. Yeah, and
okay.
when your ass is warm, the poop comes out a little easier.
Wait, no. I'm sorry. Warm toilet seat? Objection. Go into a public restroom and sit down and then wait until it's a warm toilet seat and you start questioning your life decisions really fast.
See, only problem it's interesting you say that, because one of the things that I do not like, I love my car's heated seats, but I can't use them that often because it does make me have to poop.
Makes you want to poop, right?
It's just like science. I mean, so you're right. The Japanese have figured that out. That's wow. Good on them. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, no one likes a cold ass when they poop. It's kind of like ice cream, right? When you go to Cold Stone Creamery and you get that the scoop, right? It's like the hand scooped ice cream. It's all hard and shit. But then when you go to the soft serve, that's a little warmer, so it comes out a lot easier. So pooping is very healthy. Toilet paper is super toxic. If I wanted to bleach my asshole, I just go do it professionally, not wipe my ass with toilet paper. So bidets are where it's at. And
I used to have my sister do it for me.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. All right, let's April Fools. We broke on that
that's
one.
it. That's the episode. That's it.
Yeah.
Shapes of pooping.
Shapes of pooping, episode 67, 6 or 7, depends on which episode number you want. And this has been, where can people find Shapes of Pooping, Bob, and get all the latest information on the hottest bidets out there so they can poop in peace and then wipe their butt with water.
Shapesofpooping.org /bidets specifically.
Yep. Yeah. So, and we Caleb is literally trying it right now and getting all up in there. So,
ooh,
you know what's really good?
Yep.
Whoa!
Yeah.
How do you operate? Jesus, this is all right.
Look into my eyes as you're feeling this, Caleb.
Ooh.
Here in a few minutes, you're going to hear the blow dryer, so makes it all nice and fresh.
Oh my god, that was fucking trumpet over there. No, jokes aside, everyone, it is April Fool's. We are recording on April Fool's. This episode is actually going to go live April Fool's on the evening, so we can hit that April 1st, and that's just a little humor for you all here at Shapes of Gaming, the weekly gaming podcast that we do every week, and we're on episode 47. So that was fun.
We'll get to that magical number one day.
Episode Poop-D7.
Have you guys ever taken the toilets for a test drive at Lowe's?
Oh yeah. I just straight up getting naked, and I'm just I usually poop naked, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Everyone's
I take Lowe's for a test drive on my toilet. That's what
I do. Oh man. Yeah. No, I don't know. It came up in conversation on another text string, and I was like, it's April Fool's. I got to do this. And I hit you guys up, and I'm like, hey, you want to do a bit? Do you want to know what it is beforehand? And they're like, nope. So I was like, all right, buckle up. So that was fun. Very fun. So happy April Fool's. I hope
we pulled it off for you. Yeah.
Dude, I hope people are like, what the fuck? And they just like stop it, and they're like, I'm not listening to that.
The least listened to episode in all of them is this one,
right?
Because it started that way.
What if it's the most listened to episode and it just like increases our listener count tenfold? It'd be so funny.
Do you guys, this like serious question, because you know how when you watch like YouTube videos, sometimes you can see the most watched sections of the videos where people scrub to, and can you do that for the listened to episodes to see?
Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah, that's why I'm going to be curious about this one. It's going to be
on
Spotify.
5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes, they're gone. Just peace out.
Yes. Yeah. Fun fact: our most listened to platform is Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
So, yeah. So,
Tim Cook loves Shapes of Pooping.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's our number one subscriber.
Yeah. Who do you think writes in all the questions about the bidets?
It's definitely Tim Apple.
Right. I am Matt Stenson. This is Bob Harriman. That's Caleb Schiff. We are here for you all for Shapes of Gaming. Just wanted to have a little fun there. And yeah, let's get into the real episode. That was fun. But what are we drinking here?
Well, I am drinking the same thing from last week because I have been going nonstop, and somebody, we made an agreement, now owes me several 6-packs of beer. So
you bought my ticket to Bit Brigade. Thank you.
Yeah,
awesome.
Bringing your ass along. But yeah, I'm drinking Living the Dream up here in beautiful Colorado, and it's the Powder Run, which is the cream ale with vanilla, and it is pretty much a cream soda had a baby with a beer. I love it.
So good. Yeah, you hooked me to that, and I still have. I'm out of Powder Run, but I still have the Powder Run Cinnamon Swirl, which tastes like cinnamon. It's amazing. So yeah, I decided on something a little heavier tonight, especially due to the intro of the cast. No, it is the right. It is the Old Dude Stout from Odell Brewing. Odell Brewing, of course, up in Fort Collins, Colorado. Used to live like 15 minutes from the brewery. But yeah, it's an amazing stout, not too heavy, but a lighter stout, and it's just tasty. It's got like notes of chocolate and caramel, and it's honestly just drinking dessert. So I love it. It is amazing, and you got to be in a good mood for a stout. You can't drink a stout on a warm day. And thankfully, we finally got rain here It
Oh
was
yeah,
like
you guys
it
finally got
happened.
some. Okay.
It happened for like 5 minutes. Half of it was hail, but we got some. So we got some precipitation. And Caleb, you are not drinking because you
Yeah,
are drinking your chapstick.
I am drinking my chapstick, my giant water bottle of chapstick, because it's Passover and I can't have any fucking beer. The beer that you guys have, though, looks
Yes.
and sounds awesome. Sounds
Yes.
delicious. I would like to. I'm actually a big fan of stouts. I
Oh,
couldn't tell you what stouts I like because, like I've mentioned on earlier casts, typically my friend here will just be like, "Try this one," and I drink it, and it's like, "This is awesome," and I forget what it's called. But I do tend to like stouts quite a bit, and
heck
wheat
yeah.
ales. Those are like my two go-tos, and then the sour after that. But yeah, today it's just water, sadly. So
Cool.
drink for me, fellas.
Indeed, we'll pour one out. I don't want to do that because my that'll go all over my Mac.
Pour it
No.
all over your mat. It's April Fool's. I'm sure it'd be fine.
Right.
It'll totally be fine.
No, yeah, dude. Colorado Mountain Brewery here has one of the best stouts. You can only get it in December because they have unique brews every month because they're a craft brewery. It is a marshmallow stout and it is fucking amazing. So,
Ooh.
yeah. I'm a big fan of
yeah.
stouts too, especially in the winter. Oh, yeah. You're pretty good.
Is that what you say every time you drink a tasty beer?
Absolutely.
You should.
I
You should.
whisper. Sometimes it whispers back, which is concerning, but I just roll with it. So, yeah. So this is Shapes of Gaming. We are the three stooges here for you all to talk about. Yeah, we're going to go over some news, what we're playing, of course, a little bit of housekeeping, and Caleb is here, which we love you, buddy. We love when you're on the episodes. For the state of the draft, because we've had some pickups and we've had a lot release this month. Well, technically last month, and a lot releasing this month, April. So that'll be interesting. But before we get into all of that, how's life, fellas? How's the old life going? Caleb, go first.
Sure, I'll go first. Life has fortunately settled down a little bit. Like I said on the Resident Evil spoiler cast, the wife's father passed a couple weeks ago, so haven't been doing much other than like dealing with all that. She's doing all right. Everybody seems to be okay right now, which is cool. And I guess honestly, just yesterday, I finally got to just chill for 5 minutes. I know that sounds crazy, but man, I was a little burnout, a little out of gas, but I'm doing okay. Had a stupid funny event today, which I won't take that long, but my mother-in-law had a TV that broke about a year and a half ago. We replaced it because I know my TVs. And when we were up there dealing with some of the family stuff, the wife says, my mom still has that broken TV in her room. And I was like, why? She had one job. So I said, you know what? I'll just take it. I'll recycle. I'll bring it back here. I'll recycle it the right way. And I took it to Staples. It's my go-to. I did this today. It's my go-to for recycling electronics. If, I get points there, and then Best Buy would be the other one. Otherwise, I'll do it at the downtown location, whatever. But TVs are like a tricky one for people who don't know that. Always took it to Staples. Everything was fine. So I walk in. The woman's like, "Hey, are you here to recycle?" Because I had this TV and I just like plopped it on the counter.
You should have been like, "Nope,
I am." No, I just carry this wherever I go. Yes, I'm here to recycle this. And she said, "Oh, we can't take TVs anymore."
Oh, what?
I know there's a fee, which is annoying. I don't want to pay $20 to get rid of this the right way, but I don't want to poison Mother Gaia either. So what the hell? And she says, "Yeah, we just don't take TVs." And I said, "Your website," I double checked before I came here. It says you can for $20. And she says, "Oh, well, we can't." And I said, so somebody's lying. It's either you or the website. And I was trying not to be an asshole about it. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry. We can take monitors though." And you realize the TV is a big monitor. And she just stared at me and I said, "Is this an April Fool's joke?"
Right.
Seriously, is this an April Fool's joke? And she just looked at me like I was from Mars. She said, "I'm sorry." And I said, "Okay, do you know where I can take it?" She said, "No." So I just leave, take it back to my car, get in the car, I look up a place. And in Ohio, there's this thing called SWACO, SWACO.org, that'll tell you where you can recycle stuff. They told me that the thrift store down the street took recyclable electronics. No, it doesn't. That's bullshit. So I go there. They don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Same thing. I go to the next place. Nobody accepts TVs anymore. So I feel like I just want to take a hammer to it and smash it into a million pieces and poison everything around me. So basically what I did today for 2.5 hours was drive around my mother-in-law's broken television and then bring it home. So when I say that I'm out of gas, I mean that literally and figuratively. It's one of those stupid how and why. And so that was enough. I gave up for the rest of the day.
Yeah, you tried to save Mother Earth by disposing of it properly, and then you helped destroy Mother Earth by driving around aimlessly for 2 hours.
Exactly. That the bitter irony makes me so upset. But yeah, there's not really a punchline to the story other than what the fuck. Just you know what? But other than that, sincerely, other than that, everything's pretty good. I got to clean a lot of the house today, which it's been in dire straits for the last 3 weeks or so.
The spring cleaning.
Yeah, that felt really good. If I'm being honest, I don't know if that excites other people, but I hate messes. I hate them so much.
I feel that. I like a good cleaning day, and then it's just everything's clean and smells good. I feel that, man. Maybe it's adult thing. So
I do that because then when I play games forever or watch a show or whatever I want to do for fun, I don't feel like a lazy prick. Dude. I did all this. I get it out of the way so that I can just live my best life. And I don't know. Highly recommend that to people that are looking for something to do and feel guilty when they game, when they read, when they watch movies or whatever. Clean, do some dishes, laundry, whatever might help.
Yep.
Anyway, that's what I'm doing. How are you, Bob? Sorry.
Going a million miles an hour myself. Life has been really fast, professionally, personally, from the gaming perspective. So like I'm working extra hours at work to try and because we've got a whole production thing that's going on, and it's like, okay, cool. I don't mind. I mean, I don't like idle hands are the devil's plaything, right? As they say. Sure. But and then I walk in and I'm looking at the family, and I got 2 of them that are sick, dealing with sinus infections, and I was like, I can't deal with this right now. And then I looked at the upcoming game list for April and realized I've got vacation planned. I got gun range planned. Oh, and by the way, there's like 4 games coming out. So
right, it's insane, isn't it?
April's fucked.
Yeah, that really is. But other than that, can't complain.
Good.
Cool, man. Cool.
First world problems, I think, for us.
Oh yeah. To piggyback on your conversation, Caleb, I always usually like to do a productive thing too before video games, so I don't feel like an asshole just like not doing anything productive and then going to game, right? And just spending like 5 hours. I wouldn't say doing nothing, but in the physical world, you're just sitting down, right? You're engaged digitally. But yeah, I feel that for sure.
I got to say, my trick, getting older, I used to be like that, but now I'm older. My trick is I'll start a game, and then about an hour and a half in, I'll take a pause at a moment break, and then I'll be like, hey, I'm going to go do the dishes. I'm going to go swap over laundry. I'm going to go wipe this down. And then I'm up and moving throughout the day, and I'm getting in game time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like cutting into the game time. Like sometimes I'll just lose myself in a game. So, but whatever works. It's kind of the same concept, just a different approach, right? So,
yep, sure. And it does depend on the genre of game. Oh, if you're playing a really story-driven game, you probably get immersed. If you're playing a fighting game or something, or I don't know, do you play many mobile games, Bob, that are active, or do you do like AFK arena type shit?
No, I do Balatro.
Oh, sure. So you could do a couple rounds of that, like a run, I guess, and then get up and do some dishes. Yeah, I could see that. That works for me.
Yeah, for sure. Life's been good for me. I'm slightly busy. I mean, I so I'm not too busy. But we are on our way to the moon, which is really cool.
Artemis 2, right?
Artemis 2 launched today, I think like a couple hours ago. A successful launch, and we will be orbiting or slingshotting the moon in like 6 days. So first time we've been in the range of the moon. In fucking 70 years?
Something like that. Yeah. And
It's been a
I do
while.
know this is a test, from my understanding, of going around and then like doing a dry run, if you will. So in another 5 to 6 years, they're actually going to go try and land on the moon again.
Yeah. And put a colony there, like put a little base there, lunar base. So
lunar
Are you guys
base
sure this
Alpha
isn't
and Zeta.
just this isn't just really good viral marketing for Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day? Are we sure they actually launched?
I saw that trailer for before Project Hail Mary. That looks amazing. It comes out in July or June, one of the J months, right?
Yeah, summertime.
I'm very interested.
Sure.
I think I'm going to see that in theaters on launch weekend for sure. That looks cool.
For sure.
So if you're interested in like sci-fi, alien-based movies, go check out the trailer for Disclosure Day, and go watch Project Hail Mary, because holy shit,
Indeed.
I've seen it twice, and watching it a second time was even better. But yeah, we are on our way to the moon. That was cool to watch the launch happen like 2 or 3 hours ago. Other than that, I made a revelation. I shared it with you, Bob. Caleb, you don't drink coffee. I've started to put butter in my coffee.
Really?
And it's a game changer. Yeah. You want good butter. You want like Kerrygold or fucking Vital Farms, like the good kind that's not cut with a lot. If you can even get like ghee, make sure it's salted, and put like a slice in there. Not only is it a pseudo creamer, but it adds a little bit of salt to your coffee, which salt is a flavor enhancer. So it enhances the flavor of your coffee.
Yep. It also mellows the tannins in there, so it actually reduces the bitterness on a coffee.
Yep. So butter and coffee.
I
literally ran out of creamer. Oh yeah, you should try it out. I ran out of creamer, ran out of milk. And roommates didn't have any, because sometimes I'll steal some of theirs. But and I was like, well, fuck. Like I drink pour over, which is already really rich and very concentrated. And it's light roast, so it's very like I got to cut it with something. I usually cut it with some almond milk and some honey, but I didn't have any of that. And I was like, what the fuck can I use? And I was like, butter has cream in it. Fuck it, why not? And I was like, holy shit, what have I done? So it was just on a whim, trying it out.
When you slice, is it almost similar to how much you would slice for a piece of bread? The amount of butter, like how thick the butter is, or more than that?
More.
Okay.
Yeah, probably like for bread, you probably want like a little sliver, right?
Well, I actually don't butter my toast either, because I'm weird and I like dry toast. So I would just look. Well, usually when I have toast, it's with eggs.
Oh yeah,
eggs
so you use the eggs.
So that's typically what I do. And it's nothing against butter. The wife is a baker. She uses a fuckload of butter in really good treats. So I'm not against that. I just don't need it. So why add to it if I don't need it? Sure. But I will try this for her coffees that I make for her.
Do it. Yeah. It's like maybe
a quarter inch at
quarter
most.
Inch.
Okay.
At most.
Quarter inch slice of butter.
And that's for a standard like 8 or 10 ounce mug.
Yeah. Cup of coffee. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part's going to be the salted, because we have a shit ton of unsalted butter here as the baker.
I could tell you I did it with unsalted, because that's all I have in the household, because I'm a cook, not a baker.
Sure.
And then that can throw things off. So it actually just makes it smooth. It really reduces the bitterness. It does the same effect. So I can only imagine it's probably enhanced when you add salt. And welcome to Shapes of Cooking, everybody.
Shapes of cooking.
Shapes of butter.
No, I wanted to share that because it's like no one. I went online and it's not too popular. I mean, people were talking about it, but I'm like, why? This is amazing. People should do this more often. So I have a bit of a platform, so I wanted to share it. So yeah, a little bit of a life hack.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, and it's a cheap creamer. Dude, most of the creamers out there, especially like 90% of them, are bullshit. Made with paint thinner, all kinds of junk and nonsense, super high in sugar. I don't like them.
Well, that's what I actually use paint thinner for Lisa's coffee.
Nice.
That's what I use right now.
Excellent.
It's just,
it
adds
helps
a little bit of bitterness. It does.
But yeah, other than that, life's been good. Trying to get up to the slopes, but not a lot of snow up there. So unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to make it up before next season. This season might be over. So,
Damn.
Yeah, but we'll
Bummer,
see.
man.
We'll see.
More time for games. That's
Indeed.
the good news.
Oh, dude, I've been diving into an incredible JRPG on the heels of another incredible JRPG. I'm just in it. And I might play another JRPG if I can squeeze it in before Pragmata. Probably not. But we'll see. I'm in a crazy JRPG mood that I can't wait to talk all about. But before we get into what we're playing, let's talk about the news or housekeeping and state of the draft. Which one do we want to do first?
I think the script said state of the draft, but I don't care. I'm happy to talk.
Technically housekeeping, yeah. So clearly you're not going to find us at shapesofpooping.org. Where are people going to?
No,
although I wonder
/bidet or /bidet.
Yes,
I respect your guys' memory because I totally forgot what I had said.
You laughed at the joke and you're like, "Oh, that was funny." Be like, Bob, you said it. Like, oh, that's funny.
Really funny for whoever came up with that joke. It was me. Yep.
I can't wait to have Dementia, man. I'm going to be able to play all games again, and they're going to feel like brand new, and I'll hear the same joke over and over again, and it'll still be funny.
I already don't like wearing pants, so I can't wait to... Yes, I got you while you were drinking. I don't like wearing pants already, so I can't wait to not wear pants and have an excuse. Just walk around pantsless. It'll be like, Mr. Stenson, you don't have pants on. And you look at him, you're like, huh, what?
Neither did Leon S. Kennedy.
Did you know Charmander is the seventh Pokemon?
Man, I know you guys are kidding, but that shit scares the hell out of me. If I can just be real with you, that is terrifying to me.
Same here.
I can't. I don't know. I feel like, would I still be myself? Like that kind of existential shit, that drives me crazy.
I'm right there with you.
As a benefit, though, that's a perk if you're looking at the silver lining for sure.
Yeah, well, it's like I've told my wife. I've told Crystal for, we've been married almost 20 years now. I say, if I get to the point where I get dementia or I can't take care of myself functionally, just send me on my merry way. I'll be happy. I'll probably be happy and not know what's happening because I'm not having you take care of me for whatever 10, 15 years at the end of my life as I'm going, hey, did you know Charmander's the seventh Pokemon in the Pokédex?
You do realize whenever this happens to all of us, this fact right here is going to be the only thing that we all remember consistently. Even me, I'll be like, did you know that Charmander? Why do I know that? Oh, this is why. Right now, it's a core memory that will be recalled at the end of our lives.
It's funny because technically he's number 4, but
I wondered.
Yeah, he's number 4. Squirtle's number 7.
So who's one? Is it Bulbasaur?
Bulbasaur.
Yeah, Bulbasaur.
Yeah. My guy. Dude, that's mine. That was my pick in
the
originals. Yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, Charmander was mine. Did you? So there. What? Oh,
I was
who are you? Oh, we have a full fucking starter team here. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I literally have
derail. It's because everybody wanted the dragon. Everybody else liked the exploding turtle thing. I mean, that was what we thought it was when we were 8 years old or whatever.
Yes.
And I thought, what is this little fat cutie? Like that really was why I picked Bulbasaur. Plus when he yelled Bulbasaur, I loved it.
Bulbasaur.
That's all I needed. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Did you know there's a small place in our brains, if you played Pokemon, there's science behind it. When you were little, it imprints, like the Pokemon knowledge imprints on a specific space in your brain that is only there for that. There's science behind it. I read an article on it. It has to do with the size of the screen, how close it is to your face, and the age you played it on. But I was wondering, like, why the fuck do I sometimes forget what I ate for dinner last night, but I can recite all 151 Pokemon? Like, and I guess there's a science to it. So yeah, that shit terrifies me too. But you know what? It's you gotta joke about what terrifies you.
You do. And silver linings, really. I mean, that life's going to happen whether we like it or not. So might as well make the best of it, right?
Exactly.
I didn't mean to bring us down. That shit makes me so sad.
I'm going to be old and I'm going to sit on one of those hot nurses' lap and be like, oh, I'm sorry, honey.
I remember when you were my age. What?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Did you know Charmander's the 4th Pokemon and one original? Okay. Where can people find us, Bob?
We go right into that browser. Man, you got me this week. Good job. Go into that browser. You'll type in shapesofgaming.com. That'll bring you to our little landing page where you'll find all the links to listen to us ramble on about bidets and Pokemon and getting old and all the other antics we've got. We recently had a spoiler cast for Resident Evil Requiem, almost 5 hours, I want to say.
Yeah, 4 hours, 45 minutes.
Sorry.
It's got some good views.
Yeah,
or listens, I guess. Listens
in this case, but you can go check it out there. You'll find the links to all of our socials. So we're out there posting, doing what we can. We got a Discord. Come along, say hi. I'm usually in there damn near every day, all day, in some capacity. So is Matt. So is the rest of the community. So come check us out once again at shapesofgaming.com.
Excellent. Yeah, we have fun. We're all on there, and yeah, just a cool place to come in, hang out with your friends, and we have channels for everything. If you love the podcast, subscribe. It's free. We don't ask you for any money. Everything's already so fucking expensive out there. This is free entertainment for your ear holes. So enjoy. So yeah, that's where you can find us. Now, let's get into State of the Draft.
State of the Draft. Nice. All right. So, when you last heard where we last left it, it would have been the very beginning of March, and now it is literally the very beginning of April. So, we're going to cover what all happened in March. I'm not really going to go in any specific order, just game releases that had happened in the month of March and how they scored, if they scored at all. So, to kick things off, I know we talked about it a little bit on the last episode, but it wasn't official. Marathon finally got a score. And I'm just going to interject very briefly here as a person who has not played Marathon, but has watched plenty of it. I am super bummed that it was scored the way it was, as early as it was. Yep. Luckily, though, for, Mason, who had drafted it, but also the actual fans of Marathon who've been playing it. I know he's been playing it. Bo's been playing it. Bob's been playing it. They love it. It's a great game. The score has been creeping up, which is great. So this number could change yet again over the next few weeks, but I do think it's relatively settled. Marathon released March 5th, and it is now sitting at an 81, that's wonderful. Yeah. Can you guys recall when it first came? Wasn't it like a 76 or something like that?
I want to say it was like a
74.
Dropped to 74, I think, at one point.
Which was surprising for a Bungie shooter, even though it's an extraction shooter. And some of the reviews that were legitimate had legitimate complaints and stuff, still didn't get that low. I don't know what the hell's wrong with people this year. It's kind of nuts. So anyway, Marathon came out. Congrats to those of you that love it. And Mason, you got 11 points from that. So that's fantastic. And real quick, do you guys want me to cover the games that are either out today or tomorrow that have scores, or do you want me to keep that for next month? Just because while I'm on Mason, he's got one that has a score that's dropping tomorrow.
Yeah. Let's go over that. If it's dropping tomorrow, it's in April, technically, right?
All right, cool. Well, yeah, it's not a March release, so I figured. But okay, so the other release that Mason has that's coming out tomorrow is Darwin's Paradox. For people who might not remember, this was covered in the Konami section of the PlayStation third-party blah blah blah. I don't remember exactly what it was. Yeah, state of play, state of pooping. PlayStation state of pooping. But Darwin's Paradox, poop is always funny. Darwin's Paradox is sitting right now at a 77, which is a little lower than I bet people were expecting, but it is a game about a kooky octopus. So if that score stays the same, he'll be netting 7 points tomorrow, which is fantastic. We do shoot for the double digits, so kind of a bummer on that again, Mason. I feel like the fantasy critic gods are shitting all over Mason this year, and that is a bit of a bummer for him. I do feel bad, but that's what happens when you don't tell me about early access. So
you feel the wrath of Caleb.
I feel for you, buddy. That sucks. The other one that's a bit of a bummer, because this was another release that happened March 10th, also for Mason, was the Ghost of Yote Legends release, the multiplayer, the co-op multiplayer experience. And it doesn't have a score right now because there aren't enough reviews yet. And I don't know what's going to happen with that, because it's been 3 weeks. So That's a weird one. I actually haven't looked. I don't know if the Open Critic page even exists for it, but whatever. So he's sitting at a nothing for that right now. Hopefully that gets resolved so you get some more points.
The Open Critic page does exist, and it has 6 critic reviews, but not enough to have a score.
What's it looking like?
8 out of 10, 86 out of 100, 8.5 out of 10, and 8 out of 10. If it doesn't have a score, I'll pretty much do the same thing like we're doing in Slay the Spire, take an average out of those and give them the points. So, I mean, so it sounds like right probably now? 84. Yeah.
So if you're listening to this, Mason, don't fret. We got you, buddy. Even though you're a competitor, we got you. Next up, we've got Boblin Goblin. He had a couple releases in March. He's flying pretty high right now with all of his slam dunks. -1. We'll get to that.
Recent one hurt.
It did, which, you know, it happens. We've all had that one little guy. I am a little surprised that that's as low as it is, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So in no particular order, I'm going to try to go in the order they released, but Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection came out and got a pretty 86. So Bob got 16 points for that, which is a very Solid. Good pickup. Didn't cost you that much. You were able to pick that up at a relatively cheap price, which is fantastic for you. I'm saving the big boy for last on purpose.
Fair enough.
So next up, we have the bullshit that Bob pulled off with the director's cut that Matt and I have bitched about on multiple occasions on this cast. Super Mario Brothers Wonder for the Switch 2 plus Meet Up in Bella Bell Park. They constituted it as a director's cut, even though we all know it's just a fucking re-release. But Bob was able to get another 16 points for that. It was an 86. So good on you. Like you said before, if the or what is that you say? If the danger sign is up, it isn't up, and it's not you, you're not doing something right. I don't remember that joke, but you get the point. It's the reason that we have these fucking warning signs and these rules. And then the last one of the month was Super Meat Boy 3D. This is the one that hurt you a little bit. This only released at a 73. So we only got 3 points for this guy. And I think yesterday was a 74 because when I looked earlier, I thought, how did he drop below his total score of 70 points? And oops.
It launched at like 79 and I was like, oh, that hurts. And then I saw it plummet and I went, oh, that hurts even more. Don't like that.
Yeah.
But the one that I've been saving for last, because on the last State of the Draft, this was coming out 2 days later or 1 day later. And it was Pokemon Pocopia. At the time, it was sitting pretty at an 88, as I recall, which is awesome. Good for you. Do you remember what you paid for?
$1.
Pocopia? Yeah, $1. $1.
Incredible ROI.
It is finally settled at a 90. Bob was able, it actually got just higher than Resident Evil Requiem, and no disrespect to the Pocopia or the points, not just because Resident Evil is one I drafted. I do find that fucking insane that
I do too.
Score than Pocopia, but I know they're very different genres, very different games for different people, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about this game. So if you like those types of games and you're a person who really needs to focus on score, it seems like critics and audiences love this. So just or consumers love it, gamers love it. So 90 points or 90 score, 20 points. Great get on that guy, Bob. That's awesome. Next up, let's see. We've only got one release for Matt, and that is Crimson Desert, which I can talk about a little bit later as far as the game mechanics go. But the good news is when this came out, it was a lower score. So it's now a higher score, which is great for you. Yep. The bad news is the game is kind of all over the place when it comes to reviewers. And this is one that I actually kind of agree with just because it's a love it or hate it. It really is. You give it enough time, you're going to love it, but you shouldn't have to give it 10 hours just to start having fun. That's kind of nuts. So Crimson Desert right now has settled at an 80. So Matt scored 10 points for that. I know he was a little bummed because it was sitting at about a 77, 78, and those single digit points really hurt. He at least got up to double digits. But
I'm happy with it. I at least want to hit double digits. The consistent double digits is what you win, what wins you drafts. So I'm happy it's double digits, barely.
But Bob's Super Meat Boy only getting 3 points. While it sucks, his other games have performed admirably, so he's still higher than that average, which is great for him. But that was the only thing that dropped from Matt this month, or last month, excuse me. For me, this is kind of weird because, as we talked about ad nauseum, not knowing the rules, which is, it's a mess, but it's okay. Slay the Spire 2 hit early access, and so did Solasta 2 for me in the month of March. Those currently do not have scores because of the way early access is handled. And oopsie daisy, whatever, it happens. So what we decided to do, because of the kerfuffle from the initial draft and onward, and this year only, this is not going to happen in the years to come, they have agreed to give me the aggregate score based on actual early access reviews. The problem is I'm not going to make them updated every day. That's stupid. So I was going to give it a month, maybe a month and a half, to let those early access scores settle. I can tell you right now, from the 4 early access scores of the Slay the Spire game, it would be about an 84. I think that might have changed if there's 2 or 3 more reviews out there, but I haven't looked because it's fine. We have until the end of the year. No problem. Solasta 2, I have no idea. When I drafted that, I fully expected it to get like 71. That was just let's reach and see what happens. And then the early access thing happened, which kind of threw a wrench in that plan. So, oops. So my score hasn't changed this month officially because both of those are reading at nothing, but that'll change. And lastly, but not leastly, your grandpa's favorite Gooner Gotcha game, Burrito Supreme, has still had 0 releases because he had his March release delayed into April. But he's finally, barring some crazy shit with Mouse PI, finally going to have a release this month. So hopefully he gets on the board. And for him, I'm hoping that it does well, and for gamers because the game looks cool. So, quick score update total. Moving forward with that, I'll go last to first. Right now, I am in last with I am in second place. I was reading the wrong thing. Burrito Supreme is in last because he has no points. Fourth place is Mason with 16.81 points. Matt is in third place with 22.91 points. I am in second place with 35.4 points. And Bob is in first place with 0.88 points. Bob has had 5 releases. I have technically only had 2, and then the other 2 that we'll add later, so I guess technically 4. Matt has only had 2 releases. Mason has had 4 releases. He's, like I said, the fantasy gods are shitting on him this year. And then Bo has had 0 releases.
Right.
So, it's still anybody's game. It's early on, but I do think Bob and Bo are the 2 to beat with their lineups. They're pretty strong, very, very strong. But you never know. So the other thing we're going to talk about, and then we're going to go move on from this nonsense, are the upcoming releases. I already talked about Mason's that releases tomorrow, so we'll skip Darwin's Paradox. The very next release is one that I'm very excited for, coming out April 14th. Is Replaced, and I actually do have that drafted, so I'm hoping the game is going to be good. The trailers all look fantastic. I'm
excited,
really excited for it.
So
we'll see how that does. And then shortly thereafter is Bo's finally his first release of Mouse PI for Hire. That is April 16th. And then Bob has the Pragmata draft, and we're all getting Pragmata because that game is going to be fucking excellent. That comes out April 17th. Because they pushed it back and then they pushed it up, probably to get out of the way of Saros and I don't even know what else. It doesn't really matter because there's so much.
Now Hades too.
Yeah, Hades 2 is another one. That's not on here because we can't draft it, but we are all buying it. We are all getting that game. That game, if you haven't gotten it already on PC or Switch 2.
Day one!
Day poop. Next up is another of Bob's releases. Saint Slayer, Spear of Sacrilege. Bob, do you want to give people a brief overview of what this game is? Because it's not one of the big boys. No offense, it's not one of the big boys hitting in April, but you know that. So, real quick, what is it?
All right. So, the reason I'll get into that, but I just want to say the reason I picked this up because you guys are gonna be like, "What?" I heard about it through another podcaster that I listened to. He co-owns a studio, and they release games occasionally, and I see this one. And quite frankly, I'm a believer. This is the one for me. This is a 8-bit 2D side-scrolling action platformer. So it's got a lot of heavy emphasis on Castlevania, particularly Castlevania 2. For those of you that don't know, I see a little bit of Super Ghouls and Ghosts in there, or Ghouls and Ghosts because it's the NES era. But this is a very small game. You're absolutely right, Caleb. Small indie project, but this one, if you like that era of the Ninja Gaiden, the Castlevanias, the Ghouls and Ghosts, that nature, go look into this. It's going to be available, I think, the 20th of April, and it's going to cost $10 digitally. So absolutely go check this out.
And once more, the game is called Saint Slayer: Spear of Sacrilege. I only looked at a little artwork after Bob had drafted this, because I usually know a fair amount of releases that are coming out. I had never ever heard of this, so of course when you picked it up, I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I looked it up. The artwork looks cool. It's right up my alley, being an old school gamer. And again, I'm hoping for you, man. I'm really hoping for you.
It's a game made by a gamer. It's a game made by a game-ass gamer. Like Colin Moriarty, he knows what's up. So I think, and he's a huge fan of Castlevania, and he really cares about the quality and content of his games. So I'm excited for it too.
Yeah. No, we're all going to pick. I mean, the only reason I'm not going to pick it up day one is because there's 407 games coming out in April. And I have a million things to do in April on top of that, which will really eat into my game time, which makes for grumpy Caleb.
Well, unfortunately, I have to buy the next game that's on that scheduled release that you have, because that's a day one purchase for me as well.
Yes, and that would be Vampire Crawlers, which looks awesome. Comes out April 21st. That is on my draft. Bob is mad at me because it was on my draft. He thought he could get it later in the draft, and he stole my fucking Trails in the Sky, so I got Vampire Crawlers. But yeah, it looks good. Matt, did you play the first one, Vampire Survivors? Did you?
I played it. I played it. Actually, Mason, when he was visiting the Springs, came over and he's like, "Dude, you got to play this. It's co-op." And I'm like, "All right, I'm down. Let's grab a beer." And we played it for a bit. It is fun. It is a dangerous game for me.
It is a dangerous game.
Very addictive, just like Balatro. I could sink hundreds of hours into this game, and I quite frankly don't want to, but I enjoyed my time with it, and it's very, very fun, very mindless. So
it's an awesome time. I played it on Steam way back whenever the hell it came out, and it's very similarly where I thought, man, I can't. It's awesome, but I just fucking can't. And then I stupidly picked up Crimson Desert, which is just a big version of that. The fucking time sink shit, a million things to do. But no, it looks great. I'm hoping for me that it scores well, but for people who are going to buy it and play it, I hope it's awesome. It looks great. The first game was great. Sequel should be great. So here we go. And then 3 days after that, another one of mine, Diablo 4: Lord of Hatred. I'm a Diablo fan through and through. I fucking love Diablo. Another one of those games that's just infinite time. Why is it all hitting at the same time? But I'm going to be playing with a good friend of mine, and that's the best way to play Diablo games, in my opinion. Cool. So I'm really excited for this expansion. Warlock class, Paladin class. Fuck yeah, those are being added to the game. So yes,
nice.
And then a week after that, or just under a week after that, that Mason drafted, but we are all going to fucking get, is Saros. And that releases April 30th. That is PlayStation exclusive. I don't know that it's coming to PC based on the recent news where they're kind of nixing their PC releases.
It isn't. Well, I mean,
as far as we know. Yeah, not on launch, which is normal, but who knows? So if you have a PS5, if you have a PS5 Pro and you want to play Saros, pick it up. That game's going to be another potential game of the year, I think, nominee. That it looks awesome. We've got, like I said, so many fucking releases in April. And that would be it, at least as far as now, that we can draft. So anything else you want me to cover on the draft? I feel like pickups. And that shouldn't take very long. Real quick. All right. In March, you dropped Pokemon Winds and Waves because that's coming out next year. Yes. March 14th, you picked up Pokemon Champions. You dropped Pokemon Champions.
Yes.
Can I ask you why? I wondered if you just thought it looked bad.
Yeah. It was like a mad-ass game because I'm a huge fan of Stadium, Coliseum. Like, I'm a big fan of Pokemon, and like an arena-based battle game is right up my alley. But then I found out it's also on mobile. they are prioritizing mobile, and it has a subscription service specifically for the game.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. I mean, it looked good to me. It looked exciting for being a person who at least knows a lot about Pokemon. I don't play all of them, but I do. It's a great game series. So I was surprised because I know that you fucking love Pokemon, and I thought, haven't people been asking for a Coliseum-like game since the last one? I don't even, was that 20 some years ago? I honestly have no idea.
Coliseum? It was on the GameCube, 2004.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so 22 years ago. That's fucking crazy. So I kind of figured, but that makes sense why you dropped it, and
it's just it was a mad ass game. I was excited for it, but now I not only am not really excited for it, but I think it's going to score poorly because of the subscription service, and it's essentially a free to play now. So,
so what I'm hearing is you should have just drafted Pokopia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks he should have. We all, of all the people, I thought Matt would have.
Yeah, but. You know what? Win or lose this draft, I am so happy with the way that rolled out because Matt, he was like, that's not going to score well. It ain't going to fucking happen. And then now it's the best game of the year so far.
I lost a 6-pack on it, not only, but I hedged my bet on Winds and Waves and the Black and White remake, which none of them this year. And then Pokopia just scored incredibly well, and I ate my words. And I bought you. It
kind of came out of nowhere, and that's actually one of the things that I really like about the gaming industry is when that can happen. I mean, Pokemon is obviously an established IP, so not as good as a Clair Obscur situation that came out of fucking nowhere. But still, that's amazing that can happen. Whether we all, 4 of us have to lose this draft. So whoever loses, it's cool that we all get to see the games that sing.
Yeah. And I'm so glad it scored well for Pokemon and you, Bob. I'm super happy for you.
Yeah, it's great. Even though it cost Matt a 6-pack.
That's okay. It cost me $500, $600 because I had to buy a Switch 2 for the wife and a copy of the game.
Yeah, so you deserve those 20 points. Are you saying that this fantasy critic is pay to win?
No, but it wasn't. It could be because it was I knew what it was, and I was like, it might not score well. I might lose this bet. And then I saw the score drop and initially hit 88, and I immediately knew I was going to have to go get it for the wife. Like, that was the telltale of crap.
Yeah. I'd be into it. I'm just not into Animal Crossing. I'm into Pokemon. I'm just not into Animal Crossing. And it's in Minecraft. I'm not into either of those. And it's basically a Pokemon IP that plays like Animal Crossing and Minecraft. And it's just not my thing. I'm glad everyone loves it, and I hope it does well. But it is doing well, and I'm super happy to see it. So,
yeah, if I loved Pokemon and Stardew Valley, I would absolutely buy this game. I just like unquestionably. But we just talked about the 6,000 games that need to happen. So, no time for Pokopia. Bo ended up picking up the same time you dropped Pokemon Champions. He picked up a game called Blighted. Do either of you want to talk about this game? It doesn't have a set release date this year. It comes out in the fall. I think it's the same thing when Bob picked up Saint Slayer. I looked up some things about Blighted. I had heard the title before, but I didn't know anything about it. The artwork looks awesome. It really looks like it's going to be at least a beautiful game, but I don't know much more about it. I don't know the developer offhand.
It slips my mind what this even is.
So it's a Metroidvania battle through a psychedelic Western nightmare, and it's a Metroidvania action RPG from the creators of Guacamelee and Nobody Saves the World. It's from Drinkbox, gentlemen.
Oh yeah, okay. So that game's going to be fucking great.
That game's going to suck. Oh, dude, the art style looks like a more cartoonish version of Hades.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, that's all I saw. I didn't read anything else about it, but I thought, based on the art style alone, another really, really good pickup by Bo. The only thing he has to worry about is if it actually releases this year. Honestly, I think it's going to be a hit. I just don't know. I need to see a little bit more gameplay, or any gameplay. I actually haven't seen any gameplay that I know. But so that was his pickup, and then we're going to get this is the meat of the month of March with pickups. So. I'm just going to skip ahead and get the people who got it and just ignore the rest of the shit. I ended up bidding on and getting The Eternal Life of Goldman. So when this was unveiled a few years ago, I thought it looked really cool. I did. I was a little on the fence about what the gameplay would be. I wasn't really sure, but I loved the art style. It was quirky enough. For people who don't know, you're an old dude with a cane. It reminded me a little bit of the DuckTales game on the NES
Yep.
with Scrooge and his cane, and there's more that you can do with Goldman's cane. I am intentionally not looking into it too much because this was one of those. As soon as I saw it the second time, I knew I was going to get it whenever it releases. There is a chance it still doesn't come out this year, but I do know there's a demo. It's either out now or it will be out within a week. I can't remember the date. I think it looks great. So I was pretty proud that I'm surprised nobody else bid on it. Honestly, I paid $4 for it, but I could have did one, but whatever. What are you going to do?
I'll put it to you like this. I almost did, Caleb. I was really on the fence, but then I looked at my current lineup and I'm like, I can't sacrifice until the Summer Game Fest and see what the rest of the draft looks like.
Sure.
But yeah, that game, as soon as he shoved that cane in that like monster's face and pulled it out and it was just all bloody, I was like, I'm sold on this game suddenly.
Oh yeah. We talked about it last episode and I was just busy focusing on getting the other two that I got.
Yeah, which is coming up next.
Yeah.
And this is one that I'm not going to give away my game plan because we're in the middle of the year. Even though, like I said, I didn't say it on the cast. I said it to you guys that I'm kind of checked out because these fucking reviewers are all drinking their own pee. It's weird this year. I kind of wish that we could all honor system rate stuff, just the 5 of us, and see, oh, hey, who won this year? Who had the best draft based on the games we played? But that's obviously not how it works.
I totally could, but I mean, there will be a winner. But we could do that like who do we think won? So maybe
just because you know that even if competitors, I'm gonna rate the games that you guys pick up as fairly as possible because that's just the kind of person I am. I like to be objective about stuff.
Ooh, I have an idea, gentlemen.
Yeah.
And all right. So next year we can do it as a side if you want. You do the same thing. Everybody else in the draft, except for the person that got the release, provides a review of the game. Here's the thing. I know what you're thinking. Well, then everybody's going to score your game low. But the shoe goes on the other foot. So that way, if you do that and you sandbag somebody, they're going to sandbag you. So you have the opportunity and potential for a little bit of sabotage. But now we're also getting a spectrum of people that, don't quite frankly sniff their own farts.
Right. And plus, reviewers this year are counter picks. If you are really getting something super low, whoever got the counter pick is going to get those points. So I just feel like for me, I don't need that rule. I would just be fair. I would just fucking be fair. And I think we would. I think all of us would. I don't know about Mason. Just kidding, Mason. I'm so sorry. You've dealt with enough shit. Anyway, so the next two potential big boys, let's say, there was a rumor, and I know I'm jumping ahead here, but with maybe the news, but this goes hand in hand with the draft, so why not? There's a rumor. Was it Nate the Hate, right?
Yes. Yeah. Very reputable leaker.
Yes. He's a very, very good leaker. I don't know how to give him a modifier, but yeah, a reliable enough leaker.
He leaks a lot.
He pees a lot.
He's very wet. Very
a lot. Which a little bit of, for people who don't know, it's in the trailer now. It's all over the news. Fox McCloud is in the Super Mario Brothers movie. That's not a spoiler because Nintendo fucking said it on the poster, which makes me crazy. But they did.
God, that
sucks. Shouldn't have. But because Fox McCloud is in it, it was that actually holds a lot of weight to the part one of this rumor, which was there's going to be a Star Fox game coming out this summer. If that happens, I mean, I'm going to buy it. I mean, unless it's just really terrible, but I can't imagine. I think it could be great. So that was one part of the leak. Part two was for the 40th anniversary of Zelda. And this one got me real prematurely excited. A full ass remake of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which is a lot of people's favorites, arguably the best of all the Zelda games for a lot of people. I would be all up on this shit. I feel like you guys would be all up on this shit. This is one of those that I am glad that I wouldn't have to score it because I'd probably give it a fucking hundo if they do it justice.
Zelda is my favorite IP of all time. and Ocarina of Time is my second favorite Zelda game of all time, with Twilight Princess being my first because it follows a lot of what Ocarina of Time originally did.
Plus
Ocarina
Wolf.
of Time is one of the great, the Wolf and the Twilight and the darker story, just kind of, I mean, they're neck and neck, right? But Ocarina of Time is one of the greatest games ever made. And Nintendo has been rumored to be sitting on so many remakes, just waiting to release them. So it does make sense for them to release this in the 40th year anniversary of Zelda. And if they do, my God. God.
Yeah. No, it's a brilliant, it really is a brilliant move if it's true. If it's not true, it's fucking stupid of them to not have done this. My only problem is I really wish it was the Oracle of Ages and Seasons first and then Ocarina of Time, just because that's a little bit more of a handheld situation for me. But so both of those rumors came out and Matt ended up with both of those games. He picked up both of those games for $16 a piece, which is pretty cheap, honestly, if they are true. And the only 2 cents I'll throw in there is they are rumors. So we do not know. There is obviously a pretty big risk here that you've already had to drop your Pokemon for not releasing this year. And you only got 2 more of those if we have a delay. So that's a big question mark.
Drop another one too. I have to drop another one too because this announcement also came with we'll probably won't get a mainline 3D Mario title this year either. So I got to drop that, and it has an icon on it with the scales that I've never seen, but it means there are very credible reports that this game has been delayed and therefore will not release this year. The game is still counted as a will release game for drop purposes, but it cannot be counterpicked, just like a will not release game cannot be counterpicked. So I think I have a window to drop this and it doesn't count as a super drop. So stay tuned for Saturday.
Yeah. But the problem, I mean, and I'm not telling you what to do. Obviously, it's your draft. Do what you want.
Sure.
It is still only April.
I know.
So that sucks for you because you drop it and then they do actually announce this. You'd be like, fuck, you have to bid with all of us to get it back.
I know.
Or you hold on to it and then Nintendo never tells you a goddamn thing, just like Metroid Prime 4's Direct. Just, you never know with Nintendo. So here we are. But again, as your friend and as a person who's a huge fan of both of these IPs, I fucking hope so. I do. I really do. I'll take last place if I can get a new Star Fox and an Ocarina of Time remake this year. That's fine. I don't care.
Well, my theory still stands because I know that Nintendo will do synergy between the games and the movies, and I thought they were going to do synergy by doing the next 3D Mario game as Super Mario Galaxy 3. But because Fox McCloud is in Mario, they're setting up for a new Star Fox game this year. So that my theory still makes sense, except it's just out of left field now. So
you want me to piss you off right now?
Sure.
What are you gonna do if it's Super Mario Galaxy 3 featuring Fox McCloud? The game? It's just, what does the draft do in that case?
Hey,
does the guy just go, none of these are correct? I don't fucking know what to do with this.
Well, with Fox in the Mario movie, and I mean, I don't think this is going to be the first crossover, and I really think this might be the first movie in the NCU, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, that is culminating to a Super Smash Brothers movie, which is fucking exciting.
I'm so glad that you thought of that as well, because all I could think of was, we're not going to get a Kirby movie, or are we? All of these characters in a Smash movie would be pretty great. But
dude,
so anyway, that's the state of the draft. Unless there was anything else you guys wanted me to cover, I think I spent a little bit more time on it than we intended. I'm sorry, but there were a lot of game releases this month, and we needed to glaze Bob a little bit because he's killing it. He's killing it in the first half of 2026.
Yeah, keep that lead.
Yeah. So thank you, Caleb. I appreciate it. We appreciate it, and very well done. Love it. What do you say we get into the news?
Sounds good.
I think that's everything for the draft. So
yeah, I think so.
And people can follow it. We have a channel specifically in our Discord that has the draft, and you can follow it real time and yeah, it's public, so you can check it out. And it's a fun little thing we do. And it hasn't been fun with the review scores of the people smelling their own farts and just review bombing games and shit. And it holds weight for some fucking reason. I don't know, but I know Super Meat Boy.
We didn't talk about this last time. I'm sorry that some of the reviews, or maybe we did, maybe we touched on it, have been confirmed to be AI. Yeah, which is just fucking horseshit. Right. When I mean, AI has done some crazy ass things lately, leaps and bounds, which is incredibly annoying and incredibly technically amazing. Yeah. But it's still, come on, that's just not cool. I gave this a 4 out of 10 because it's not identical to the games that other people scored high while feeding me this as an AI. Like, fuck you. Right. So, anyway. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just forgot about the AI thing.
No. It's good to talk about, and it's going to be more prominent for sure. And I hope they can, wrangle that up and figure that out. So hopefully.
Me too.
Yeah. What's in the news today, Bob, or this week, Bob? We got a big news item that we need to talk about. We'll save that one for last.
Yeah, I thought we had covered it. Turns out we didn't. I checked my notes again, so we'll get there. But first things first.
It was announced on that Thursday, and we recorded that Wednesday. So,
yeah, absolutely, that's what it was. That's right.
Yeah. See, no, we recorded Thursday. It was announced Friday. For some reason, PlayStation announced it Friday. I don't know why, but whatever.
Yeah, they wanted to ruin everybody's weekend, but we'll get there in due time. But thank you, Caleb. I knew the rumors for the Ocarina of Time, the leak from Nate the Hate was absolutely something people were going to want to talk about. So I'm not going to cover it here. Thank you so much. All I can say is I'm wearing my Nintendo 64 shirt. And Ocarina of Time is not only my favorite Zelda of all time, it is consistently at the top of the list of all time best video game of all time. Mm-hmm. When you look at Metacritic, Open Critic, all the Game Informer, IGN, all of them.
It was magic. It was magic when it came out. It's one of the few that it was a magical game.
It's a masterpiece. And we kind of got a remakester, I'd say, in between a remake and a remaster. Remakester. Yeah. Heard it first here on Shapes of Gaming. For the 3DS, I played that. And I mean, it is kind of a remake, but I'm hoping and I really, really hope they don't use the Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom engine. Please don't. If you do, still play it day one, whatever. But man, what if they go realism on this and
So a real quick question for you guys about this, just because this is the last of that topic.
Sure.
Would you prefer a Final Fantasy remake / rebirth / Refaroth iteration, or would you like them to basically have majority of it be the same game, but just prettier and smoother and the fact, not that they had long load times, it was an N64 game, but what would you prefer? Which one would you like? I was thinking about this when the rumors started, because I do trust Nintendo loves their IP. They love their first party IP. They do justice to these things, but I don't know which one I would prefer. Do I want a brand new experience in the Ocarina of Time, or do I want it to just be an even better experience that I already had because the original was so good? What do you guys think?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Stay true to the original and add that secret dungeon that they were talking, the Light Temple.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So stay true to the original, make it prettier, maybe change some things around, but really follow that formula. I don't know, man. Have you ever found Nintendo to really make a remake on the scale and caliber of remake and rebirth of Final Fantasy VII?
No.
One of their titles? I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to.
I don't think it will. I just kind of wonder if I want that. Right. I mean, I'll get it either way. I will get it either way.
Oh yeah, I'll be there day one, but I don't. Stay true to the original. Add maybe some additional content and make it super pretty and super modern day graphics.
What if you could play as Impa?
That'd be cool, but it's just a deviation from the original. Why fix something that ain't broke, right? It's a masterpiece already. So just make it prettier and better assets and better control, right? Better combat control.
You don't want that Z targeting?
You keep the Z targeting, but maybe a better camera that it's not you know what I mean?
Sure. All I hope is that it's every 5 steps is listen. same sound and everything.
Oh man, dude, if they do this,
it'll be voiced
yeah.
by either Jennifer Hale or like, I was just trying to think who would be a really, really good voice for Navi.
Right. How about you, Bob? What do you think?
You know what? I go a little bit different. They're not available, so this is not happening, but it is my wish that the Odyssey team and Bonanza team did this with their engine that they used for Odyssey and Bonanza, because I think that would really hit and keep true to the original formula, but include lost content, like you said, the extra dungeon, include the Master Quest, so like they did with the 3DS version, include the Master Quest edition, put in all of that in there, because there's some good stuff. If you really want to go down a rabbit hole of like missing content and rumors and stuff, go check out Ocarina of Time, and like you said, magical. People lost their fucking mind insisting that you could melt Zora's domain and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I have one request for this game.
Yeah.
What?
Delete the fucking water temple. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it.
Well, they added the like quick swap for the iron boots.
Yeah.
For the remake on the 3DS. So that made it a little more bearable. But yeah, the water temple is notoriously just fucking awful.
But for real, the game rules. Like the original rules, the 3DS version rules. So I just figured I would ask what you guys wanted, because I was thinking about that right after the rumor and didn't have time to text chain it and get the thoughts. So I thought, why not here? Right? So
there you go. Yeah.
Cool.
Good That's conversation.
Well, I'm hoping we all love
podcast. Oh yeah. Well, I think we'll try and do a live reacts maybe for that direct, because when they announce that direct, like there might be a good chance we see that close the show, and I will cry and be on the floor in a fetal position and be jumping up and down and screaming for joy.
How great would it be if they got Jeff Keighley to come out and be like, this game is going to just fucking fail. Like, that would be the funniest shit if he's like, I hate it, and then they just show Link holding up that would be fantastic.
I have a feeling Nintendo will do their specific event in the summer, and it'll release this holiday season. I think that might be, or they might fucking shadow drop this, and Star Fox might be our holiday season game. Who fucking knows?
You think they'd shadow drop a full ass remake of Ocarina of Time?
I don't know, Nintendo. I just don't know what Nintendo's plan is. They had 3 directs for the fucking Kirby game and 0 directs for a Metroid Prime 4 game. I just don't know what they're doing over there. Just have it launched this year for many reasons, including the draft.
It's going to be called Ocarina of Okopia. 90 points. All right, Bob, on with the news, my man. Before we get waylaid again.
Waylaid. Well, charge right into our first object here. This one is just a quick touch, because we know we've been talking about it.
Quick touch.
Yeah, just a little one. Xbox always traditionally does their own event at the tail end of Summer Game Fest, or at some point in there after the main stage. And we are getting one thing confirmed, which is we are seeing, in conjunction with the Xbox Direct, we're getting a special showcase for Gears of War E-Day. This, of course, is a prequel to the original trilogy, and I'm curious. I still haven't played anything beyond the first one, or the remastered first one for that matter. But consider me interested. I'm not excited, but I'm interested. What about you, Caleb?
Well, first and foremost, the article that we all saw in Game Informer. Matt, did you actually click? Like, have you read the article?
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice how many days away Summer Game Fest is?
Yeah.
67, your favorite fucking number. I laughed so hard earlier when I read that. I am a huge fan of Gears of War personally. To answer your question, Bob, I am all about E-Day. I actually almost drafted it last year on just a whim, thinking we might get lucky. And then with the other releases coming out, I just didn't think it was going to happen. Bo ended up getting it this year. I don't remember if he drafted it or if it was a pickup, but either way,
Look,
I'm excited for it. I am very excited for E-Day. I can't really say that much without spoiling some of the other games.
it was a draft.
It was. I thought it was an original draft, but I wasn't positive. But yeah, I can't really say what I'm most excited for, even though it's a prequel. I can't say much without spoiling 2 and onward. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I think it's going to be great. The first reveal trailer we got, which was that 2 years ago? Shit, I don't even remember. Was
Something
intriguing
like
enough. It was sort of a return to form. And obviously, I'm also very excited about the Xbox Showcase because it's my favorite time of year. Summer Games Fest starts on my birthday this year. Last year, I got the Switch 2 launching on my birthday. This year, I get Summer Game Fest, and then which is 4 or 5 or 6 shows back to back of just gloriousness. And I know Matt and I are pretty excited for the Apple WWDC around that time. Typically.
Yeah.
So yeah, first 2 weeks of June are going to be fucking killer, and I will eat it up. E-Day, the E-Day Direct might be one that I actually watch. I normally don't stick around for these if I am on the fence about a game. I know what happens in all of the Gears of Wars, so I feel like I'm going to watch it if I have time. But how about you, Matt? What are you feeling?
I'm super excited for this game. I played 1, 2, 3 and Judgment. I never got around to 4 and 5 because they were Xbox One exclusives, and I kind of checked out.
You never played 4 and 5 at all?
I didn't. I'm hoping they come to the PlayStation at some point. Loved 2 and 3, and I can't wait for 2 remake or remastered to come out. Especially Bob has never played it, and
you guys have to play it together.
Oh, we will, and we'll stream it too. So yeah, I'm very excited for the reasons that we can't talk about here.
Yep.
Obviously, but yeah, when this was announced, I love that they're going back to like Emergence Day, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really hoping that it's still multi-platform because I don't know with Asha in charge now if they're going to pull back their exclusives to themselves to have a competition, because PlayStation's kind of doing the same thing, and PlayStation's never been on Xbox, but PlayStation is kind of pulling back from the PC multi-platform game. So if it's still multi-platform, if it's still announced to be coming to PlayStation 5, I probably won't watch that direct just because I'm so excited for it and I want to stay dark on E-Day. Sure. I'd say my excitement is pretty high for Gears of War E-Day. When it releases, I'm not sure. It has to be late summer, super early fall. There's no way they'll hit holiday because of Grand Theft Auto. So I don't know if it's still coming out this year. I think it might be early next year. I don't know though. I don't know how far into the development process they're in, but I'm super excited for this game. And yeah, Bob will probably play. It might be, wasn't 4 and 5 like 4-player co-op too, or something like that? Yeah. So
I will say they did not hold a candle, in my opinion, to 1, 2, and 3, but they were still pretty fun. They were, I mean, it's Gears is over the top ridiculous. I mean, this guy has a fucking chainsaw. He's if you made a Marcus Phoenix in real life, he'd be about 600 pounds wide with his muscles, and that's okay. It's a really cool art style. I like it. And they really hone into that, and they keep that world consistent enough in 4 and 5. If I'd have known that, I would have made you play it when you guys were here. I would have made you start it. Gears of War 4 and 5 are pretty good.
Totally would have too.
Not like 2 and 3. Like 2 and 3 were just stellar.
Bob and I had a blast on 1 remastered. It would, and that's the worst one of the 3 too. So like,
and it's great.
It just keeps getting better. I don't know if 2 or 3 is my favorite. They're kind of
2 is my favorite. 2 is my favorite by far. It's
so fucking good. So it gets better from here, and I'm excited for you to experience that, Bob. So
I really, Bob, you're gonna fucking love Gears of War 2. If you enjoyed 1 as much as you said you did, I think you are going to just eat up Gears 2 when the time comes.
We played on Insanity too.
Hell yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did. We had to play on Insanity. We had to we did all of the trophies that are not associated with multiplayer. Essentially, is what we ended up doing.
We're not going to farm 10,000 kills for 60 fucking hours. Not going to do it. So
that
we
sounds
wanted
terrible.
I know we wanted to play Gear. It's still pretty crazy that Gears is on PlayStation, and I really hope E-Day comes to PlayStation. If it doesn't, oh man, fuck. We'll just
E-Day is coming out the same day that Grand Theft Auto does, which is the same day that Ocarina of Time remake does. They're all coming out November 7th. All of them. And Halo Campaign Evolved. All of them. All the fucking games.
Right. Man. How about you, Bob? You're excited for this? I know you haven't played 2 and 3, so you don't know.
Look, it's Gears of War. There's a formula to the games that's really enjoyable. That we've gone over this. They just kind of missed me after the first one because I played a type of that game that I thought was better at the time.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see. So yeah, sure. Why the hell not? It's like you said, the guy, he's got more muscles than feasibly should happen in real life. And he has a chainsaw on his gun. Why the fuck wouldn't I play that?
that's fucking space laser. Right Hammer of Dawn, the space laser. I think so fun.
But yeah, I'll definitely be there as long as it's coming to PlayStation still.
Yeah.
I kind of hope it's 4-player so that at least 3 of us can play together. That would be sweet. Dude. I'd love to do
that would be
because cool. I'll be playing it.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be if it's PlayStation, I'll be there day one. I mean, if Ocarina of Time releases the same day, I won't be there day one.
No, Ocarina of Time, if that happens the same day, Zelda wins. Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll still be playing E-Day probably 10 days later.
Right. Yeah. What if Xbox just shits all over everybody in June and just like, hey, guess what? Here's Gears of War E-Day. Oh, by the way, it's out today. It just shadow drops it on people.
Fuck. I guess I'm playing that in June then. That's all I can say.
Caleb, I have a hypothetical. Let's say Ocarina of Time remake doesn't come out this year. It comes out next year, and it drops on the same day as Final Fantasy Part 3.
No.
What would you choose? I don't even know what I would choose. It's
Part 3.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. It's Final Fantasy 7 is my favorite game of all time. Final Fantasy is my favorite IP of all time. I fucking love Zelda in my heart of hearts. However, I am a crying, whiny bitch baby of happiness. When I played Remake, almost all of it, most of my tears were of joy. One of my tears were what the fuck are you doing to my baby? But no, this is the final one. It's unfortunately not even close.
Okay.
But it should be close. It should be. I just 7 is I'm a fucking simp for Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah,
I
love
so. Yeah. What about you? Would you choose Zelda first? It's your favorite IP, I know.
Yeah, I kind of had this similar situation when Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda Breath of the Wild came out. I mean, it's not too similar, but I mean, I played Horizon first. I think I would play Ocarina of Time first because it's a quicker game. You know, play it. Don't rush it. But play it and then chew into Final Fantasy Part 3. Yeah. I hope this never happens.
I know, right? But I think the hardest part for me, even though I know the story, we don't know what's happening in Part 3.
Yeah.
So those spoilers that somebody could really fucking piss me off.
That's true.
That's the other thing that's just not even.
That's a good point.
And that Zelda can't have spoilers, but what are they going to do?
Right.
Zelda's really an alien, and she summoned the moon dragon. Like, I just don't know what they can do that would be on par with Part 3. Because Part 3 could literally go fucking anywhere, anyhow. So that is another big reason for me. Yeah. Not
fun
trying to convince you,
right?
No, it's not a fun hypothetical, Matt. It's the worst day of my life.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Shit. Hope that doesn't happen. Anyway, E-Day.
We'll see it what day it drops, who knows.
We'll find out June 7th, hopefully.
Okay. Hopefully we'll find out then. This next one coming, I pulled it from Video Games Chronicle over there. This one I'm kind of curious to see what you're thinking, man. I'll set it up for you though first. So the United States Patent and Trade Office, also known as the USPTO, has revoked patents granted to Nintendo last year based on gameplay mechanic used in other games. So 2 months so let me back up, should I say. Nintendo applied for some patents based on some game mechanics. And then 2 months later, the USPTO director, John A. Squires, personally ordered a re-examination of the patent. Now, as reported by GamesFray, the USPTO has decided to reject all 26 claims made in the patent, meaning it has now been revoked. This is a non-final decision. Nintendo has now 2 months to respond, or longer if it gets an extension, should I say, and there can be an appeal made to the federal circuit if it doesn't agree with the decision. Nintendo's patent involved summoning and other characters, making them fight for the player, obviously most related to Pokemon. According to Squires, this is a too close for comfort, if you will, and I'm paraphrasing in this case, because he has already acquired, here it is, quoted, determined the substantial new questions of patentability have arisen based on the publications of 2 previous patents named Yabe and Tura, which were given to Konami and Bandai Namco specifically within the recent years.
Nino Kuni.
Yeah.
So I think it was in 2002 to Konami.
Nice. Okay. I think this is ridiculous, and patents need to be way more detailed and more in depth. You can't throw a blanket statement and be like, "Oh, we're going to patent the ability to catch something and have it fight for you." No, dude. There's so many games that do this, and I hope there's many more to come. So, good. Block this. Don't let it go through. You got to be more specific with your patents, and maybe like in a red and white ball. How about that?
Yeah, I could see, and I think that's the USPTO's issue. Is you're like, oh, we're just capturing monsters, and then they're not.
It's way too vague. Yeah, way too vague. Because we wouldn't have Nino Kuni if that was the case. Like, you capture familiars and then have them fight for you, and I fucking loved it. And dude, Pokemon can't gatekeep that, because Pokemon doesn't do a lot of things that we want and other games do. So don't get too close to that Pokemon formula. Like, Power World got pretty fucking close, right? Especially with some of the...
I can't believe how close they got.
I know. I mean, some of the monsters look straight up like assets from the Pokemon. I still don't understand that. But yeah, this patent's way too vague. You can't patent something that blanket. And yeah, I hope this doesn't go through, because competition is good for the consumer.
Well, it's weird to me that you can try to patent something that is arguably creative interpretation. It'd be like me putting a patent on breathing. Like, you all can't breathe the same way that I breathe. Like, what the fuck?
Have you been following my Twitter, Caleb?
No. What?
I actually I replied to the article that broke this and said, good, because Nintendo would patent breathing and then sell you the subscription model.
I did not know that. That's fantastic. This is why we get along, Bob. Because that's just as insane. It's nuts to me. If you're going to patent something, like you said, the specificity really, really matters. You need to, and I actually wouldn't even know where to begin, other than saying we could patent something for the way we make games. Nobody else can make games using our methods, using this engine. I mean, as long as it was an in-house thing. Even that, I would say, fuck you. You have creative interpretation. But that's just, you can't use this mechanic in a game unless you're us. That is insane to me. You can patent characters, you can patent likenesses, and you can patent that sort of thing. But when it comes to an actual evolvable force of gaming, or even, that would be like somebody patenting the way that you shoot a movie. There's a difference between saying, if you use an IMAX camera, you have to say IMAX was the camera, but to then go on and say, you can't use this angle anymore. That angle is only usable by Chris Nolan. Fuck that. That's not, that to me is what Nintendo's trying to do here. And yeah. So I agree with you. I think that it's also burn it to the ground. I'm so glad that all 26 of them were revoked, even temporarily. Put up that good fight,
Yep. Yep. It hinders creativity too.
A lot. Too much, I would argue.
Fuck that.
Yeah, because if we didn't have that crap, we might actually have, I don't know, a system that was used in a game that's really beloved, but the studio can't seem to get it over your head.
Oh, yeah, Nemesis.
Yeah.
God damn it. Fuck.
I know.
I'm not going to say anything about it because this cast will go on another 2 hours if I bitch about the fucking Nemesis system being lost forever.
I'm with you, Caleb. Trust me, you're not the only one. How about some other good news for you, gentlemen?
Love it.
Keeping news going.
Shower me with it.
Showering it. This broke actually today. I want to say it was the first thing I saw this morning. Which is why I was like, wait, this is April Fool's, right? This is coming over at Video Games Chronicle, but this was posted out by Shift Ups through a press release specifically. Shift Up, as you gentlemen remember, is the developer of Stellar Blade. Beautiful game. If you haven't played it, go check it out.
Yes,
but they announced... Oh gosh, the PC release. I was like, "Oh, this is bad. This is treading the line."
Thank you, mods.
Every minute of it.
Thank you, mods.
So, they have acquired the Tokyo-based all shares of the Tokyo-based studio Unbound. Unbound is the latest studio from the Resident Evil creator Shinji Mikami from way back in the day. After he left Capcom, he went over and created Ghostwire Tokyo and Hi-Fi Rush's Tango Gameworks, which was shut down in 2023. So he went ahead and spun up his new studio, Unbound. They acquired all shares, and they are working on an original IP with 50 employees at this time for all consoles and PCs, and PC, of course. I can make some speculation, but at the same time, I think this might be a survival horror. I don't know if you gentlemen saw the video on it.
It's gotta be.
I did not have time. So we have confirmed that this is real. It's not an April Fool's.
This is a legit thing.
There's a whole ass video. There was no April Fool's behind it or anything. It's a weird day to announce it, right? I'm pretty sure it was announced like Japan time of March 31st, though. So,
or you mean
it was like
2nd. Was it this morning?
It was 16 hours ago.
So Japan, I believe, is 15
April
hours
16th,
ahead of us.
It'd be April 2nd. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Gotcha.
then that does sit a little bit better then.
Yeah. And it's a whole ass video. It's like a 5-minute video. It's got some really cool visuals too. Like,
is it called Abandoned? Sorry. But yeah. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that it's legit. Yeah.
It's got to be a survival horror, right? With maybe some more action oriented. I don't know. They said new IP, so it's not Evil Within. It's not Resident Evil. Capcom already owns Resident Evil anyway. So, I mean, dude, I'm always excited for well-known studios, new IP, AAA, and if it's like survival horror meets a little bit more action, like Stellar Blade, fuck yeah, count me in.
Plus, the damage and torn clothing physics are going to be on point if it's Shift Up. If they have anything to do with it, that they're going to do it justice there. Not to like goon on this, but for realism and stuff, I actually think that could be a huge benefit for a survival horror type game.
Right.
Yeah. Not just being creepy. I mean, yes, I'm being creepy because it's funny and I'm a creep, but sidebar, it also would be kind of cool to see that done well.
Yeah. And have we ever gotten like a high action, high octane survival horror game, or does that kind of cancels it out?
You could say Mikami's already done that, because I could make an argument for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
The closest that I could come to would be Parasite Eve 3. Not the greatest example, but that's the kind of where I went when you were talking about those two studios merging, having some fun together. And obviously that was a PSP game, so older. I would love to see what they could do with something like that now, for sure.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how this came about. Like, this is the story that we don't have yet. Who knows if we ever actually will. Is like Mikami, Tango is down, but that's not a small name in the industry. And he was starting his own thing, and then all of a sudden, Shift Up, a Korean-based developer, is like, hey, we're going to buy all your shares, but it doesn't feel like a hostile takeover.
Right.
Yeah, so, sounds like a good partnership, and I can't wait to see what they're cooking. Because some of if you go watch that video, because there's a lot of CGI in the video of horror elements that could be foreshadowing a game they're working on.
Yeah,
that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, like a lot of I immediately thought of Parasite Eve, and you'll see it if you go look at it, Caleb. I kind of got those vibes from it, and I'm like, ooh, could you imagine if we got Eve doing a Parasite Eve like spiritual successor?
Dude, when Shift Up announced Project Eve, we all wondered, like, is this Parasite Eve? Is this like a... and nope, it wasn't. But Stellar Blade, phenomenal game. I'm glad it's what we got. I think they said they're working on the sequel as well, so they're busy over there.
Stellarer Blade.
Stellar Blader.
You need to know.
Yeah. Stellar Blader.
Yeah. I will go check out that video. I didn't have time earlier today because I was driving around a fucking television for fun. So,
Oh, shit.
It's like 4.5 minutes. It's always the smallest things in life are an antic. You're like a sitcom, but I love it.
You're fucking Cheez-Its.
There were no Cheez-Its in today's adventure, but it was just another one of those. What the fuck is going on?
Amazing.
Caleb's a real life Seinfeld, man.
No, you have no idea how true that is. So my wife, every time I go to the store for something so minor, when I come back and I just have a look on my face, she's like, really? You've been gone for 18 minutes. And I'm just like, this fucking guy. Like, there's always a thing, always. And it's always almost unbelievable until you know me. And then you're like, yeah, it's real. This guy's life is just that complicated.
Start a Twitch channel and just live stream your life and make money from it.
I'm not going to fucking carry around that shit being an annoying person. That sounds stupid. But also, you would watch it. You would watch it. That's true.
Yeah.
The life and times of Caleb.
Yeah,
I would watch that. Yeah, I'll sign in while I'm at work every day. Fuck it. Let's do this.
I feel like the first thing that would happen, because it's me, I would get about 2 minutes in and then drop my phone and break it and not be able to stream anymore. Then I could come home and rant about that instead. Well, this is what you missed when my phone flew out of the car.
Oh shit! Oh, I love it. We love you, Caleb.
Well,
thanks.
How about I do this? We'll give you guys one last little bit of good fun before we talk about the downside of this week. If you guys for the listeners out there, gentlemen, if you haven't either, go check this out. Game Informer always does their April Fool's thing. IGN, everybody else does. We're recording on April 1st, so April Fool's Day. They have their Game Enforcer section back, and the articles are amazing. There's about 7 or 8 of them. They're well written. They sound almost legit, but they definitely give a poke and jab. So I'll give the listeners an example. Game Enforcer. Hideo Kojima shocked and disappointed. Capcom rejected his Mega Man Robot Master contest submission. And it's Naked Man.
That's awesome.
I too am shocked and upset that they didn't accept his submission.
I do believe Game Enforcer is like printed in the magazine. It's either going to be this issue or next, but it's like a whole fucking section of like 16 pages of a fake magazine, and it's
awesome.
Awesome.
It's like the Onion level humor. It's amazing. So.
Yeah, like I'll just give you this clip hit, and this is the shit. I'm sorry, it gets me. I had to. Capcom did not select his creation, likely due to copyright concerns. But Kojima scoffed at the suggestion and went on a 5-minute tangent about how fucking dumb Woodman is.
Do you think his Naked Man submission would just be a nude of Norman Reedus? I feel like that would be, he'd be like, this needs to be in the game. If it were a real thing. Or Del Toro.
We got shower scenes with Norman Reedus, so checks out. That's the model's already created.
That's a prequel to the next Mega Man.
Yep.
Did you guys not know that? That Death Stranding 1 and 2 is a prequel to X.
Dude, there was another April Fool's joke from Capcom that they had Pragmata. They're like, you got us. It is a Mega Man game. And Hugh comes up with Diana in a fucking Mega Man suit. Dude, they made that Mega Man suit. That's going to be an unlockable in the game.
Or a DLC or something.
It's got to be if they made it. Yeah. So.
Plus, also good on them. That was really funny.
Yeah.
That was great because they just went along with what we all thought a couple years ago. It was good on them.
I never thought that.
When they teased it and it was like, is this like a Mega Man adjacent situation? And that was the internet zeitgeist for whatever
Right.
fucking reason.
Oh,
When
yeah.
I saw the trailer, I said, "This is the furthest thing from Mega Man aside from a Capcom association." It didn't look like Mega Man to me, but there were some similarities with the sci-fi shit. Just it's not Mega Man.
It's reaching. It's some hardcore reaching.
Exactly.
Dude,
So good for them,
17
though.
days. 17 days.
Shit.
So excited.
When am I going to fucking play it? I don't have time.
I'll find a time. I'll find a way.
Yep.
I'm
going to beat and platinum Hades in 3 days. Hades 2. Yep. It's going to happen. Just nonstop.
Without your pants on, right?
I never wear pants when I game. What are you talking about? That'd be weird if I wore pants. Quite breezy when I game.
Top of my head, like a bandana.
Right.
Yeah. It's really long ears. That's just me. I don't know.
I've seen it.
Oh, you know what? I lied to you, gentlemen. I'm sorry. One other thing, just a good PSA for you gentlemen already seen this. This is coming from PlayStation Blog specifically. The PlayStation Plus monthly games for April have officially been announced. So Lords of the Fallen, the PS5 version, the Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remastered, both PS4, PS5 version, and Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream, Fractured Daydream, are going to be available as long as you keep your subscription. So go ahead and add them to your library, and as long as it's active, you can download them at any time. I would love to, but April's a slush, so I'm going to add them to my library, and we'll get to them maybe next year.
You're right. Who knows? If ever. No disrespect to the games. Just it's a good month, it seems.
Yep. Solid entries for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we knew Lords of the Fallen was kind of quote unquote leaked earlier like last week. I want to say late last week, and I saw Lords of the Fallen on their social media. It was like, well, you guys were right in conjunction with the announcement. So developers were having fun with it. Yeah. Unfortunately, also with PlayStation Blog, we got to talk about this. Unfortunately, we do.
Talk about it? Doesn't affect us.
Doesn't affect us. This was announced last Friday, so the day after we finished recording. Starting April 2nd, which is when this podcast went live. But if you've been paying attention,
live April 1st. We're going to hit April 1st because of the April Fool's joke we pulled on everyone in the beginning. So I'm taking it live.
You just ruined it. I was keeping the thing going.
But
I was selling it as April 2nd and then let you post it on the 1st. And then you really confuse people. See? Yeah.
Never mind,
now we have to start over. Shapes of poop. Shapes of poop.
I guess I'll read it. This is Bob with Shapes of Poop. We're delaying the inevitable here. But yes, I did post a link anyways when this first broke inside of the Discord. So it has been out there. But the PlayStation 5, the Portal, and the Pro are all going to be going up globally throughout all territories. The blog specifically touched the territories of the US, UK, Europe, and Japan, but of course they give that asterisk of check your local retailer for other regions. In the US, which is relevant to us as players, the PS5 base edition is now going to be $649.99, so $650. The PS5 digital edition is going to be $599.99, so $600, and the PS5 Pro is going to come in at a staggering $899.99. $900 for a PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, I was going to say, Matt, I saw you hooking your collar there. You kind of glad you got your investment early on?
Absolutely, especially when I looked at the M2 storage I have in there. I have a 4 terabyte M2 internal storage module. I paid $250 for it. It is now $1,100 MSRP. It's nuts. Like my setup is creeping up to like a $3,000 setup. It's crazy. Man. So for everyone else and for the majority of the population, it's unfortunate that the prices are this high. It's becoming more and more pricey and challenging to get into modern day gaming. There are tiers though. You can buy like base PS5, but I mean base PS5 is now what, like $550?
$650. For the slim, it's cheaper.
Yeah. From my personal standpoint, my situation, I don't think it's overpriced. I think it's expensive because of how I use it. And I play a shitload of PlayStation. I play 1,000+ hours a month. In my opinion, I find incredible value in the systems and the games. That's why I buy the games day one, $70, no problem. I would pay more for this system if I had to. Do I want to? No, but I already find incredible value for what I get. Now, if you're just wanting a PS5 to play around with it, play like, I don't know, 50 hours a year, that's not going to be a good value for you. But I squeeze out every bit of cost in my system. And when I got the PS5 Pro, we all got it on launch. I got the disk drive. I got the internal M2 drive. I got an external 4 TB drive for my PS4 game. So I was already creeping on like $2,000. But I can do that. And this is like, I'm a minimalist, so I don't spend a lot of money on things. But I do go all out when it comes to anything gaming setup wise, anything PlayStation hardware, software wise, and my car and snowboarding. And that's about it. So personally, I don't care. I would pay more. That's just me because I find incredible value in it. But for everyone else, this sucks, man. And it's becoming a barrier for a lot of people. So this is a bummer.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's very well put. What about you, Caleb? Is this going to put you on the fence for any future PS6 purchases, possibly?
No, I mean, it won't put me on the fence because I do agree with a lot of what Matt said, that I find I get so much out of my consoles, my games, my television, my movies. All that stuff is my bread and butter. And it's what keeps me sane, quite frankly. As insane as I sound on this cast, I am more sane because of the things that I do and where I spend my money. Imagine how bad it would be if I didn't have that outlet. But the way I look at it is how this affects the future of the entire gaming ecosystem. Because if you've got your average person not able to buy in, and I'm not discounting you use the really good example, Matt, of you buy it because you want to play it 50 hours a year. That's not really a good value. You're not getting what you will have to pay. You're not getting that out of the system if you're paying such an egregious amount. That is absolutely true. However, for as much as I shit on the Call of Dude bros and the people that only buy the 5 sports games that release every year, and that's not shitting on them as people. It's just like when I game, I want all the game. I want all the things. If this locks them out, the cost is going to skyrocket even more for us. And it's really unfortunate for those that can't afford to keep up with this. Now, gaming has never really been a quote unquote cheap hobby. Affordable, maybe. I don't know. It just depends on where you would go. Nintendo used to be the ones that you would be able to buy a newer system of theirs. It would be a lot cheaper than its competitors, Xbox and or Microsoft and Sony with the Xbox and the PlayStation. But it still was a lot for certain families. So for it to go up even further due to socioeconomic, political bullshit, whatever it is, even if it's just corporate greed, I fucking hate that. But for me personally, I'm just thankful that I can sort of weather that storm. I look at people like my niece who loves this stuff. And I mean, yeah, she's only 17, but she can't fucking afford $1,000 for a system. And while I would buy it for me, I don't know that I would just drop $1,000 to get her one for her birthday. I mean, that's a big ask. And for parents that don't really know any better, I mean, can you imagine if you had a kid who has a birthday in May and you're like, oh, they wanted a PS5 Pro. And then you go to get, you're like, fuck no. Danny's getting 6,000 donuts instead. Like it's one of those things that I try to think of the bigger picture. Sure. I'm not saying that you don't. It's not what I mean at all. You're right that it doesn't affect us, and we are very lucky that it doesn't affect us now. I do think it will affect us later, and that's my problem. But we've seen consoles go up too far with the PS3. A lot of people rebuked that price, and then Sony got smart and listened, and it came back down. I guess right now I hope that it does the same thing that the housing market does, where it bubbled and then eventually people are going to just not buy it, or they can't buy it, and then they got to find a way to hit that price and bring it back down. But
Yeah.
I don't know that I trust capitalism to work like it's supposed to anymore, because
Ugh.
there's too much bullshit involved. And again, this is not a political podcast, but there that is just such a problem right now. All
Sure.
spectrums, everywhere. So yeah, I'm a little torn. I'm sad for my fellow man. But I'm very thrilled that we did get rewarded as early adopters. That never happens. We always
Yeah,
usually front
right?
the big bill, and then, oh fuck, this is on 20% off in a month. Now it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I could sell it and make a profit. What? Like, that's
Right.
nuts. I would never, by the way.
No.
But that's so. What about you, Bob? Where do you sit on this?
I will say this much. I agree with all of you, everything you guys have said. The one thing that I'm kind of thinking about is the price point. I don't necessarily sit on the island that it's corporate greed, because if you go into the diving and you look at the conversations and forums and things like that, some data has come out and people are guesstimating, based on what data is available, that each PlayStation 5, so the base model, is running Sony anywhere between $720 and $740 to produce, which means they have been that means they've been really big loss leader for a while. And to crank up the price, one is kind of chip damage, but number two, this kind of a high spike, and you have GTA 6 coming in November. Sony had to have been really hurting in the hardware department sales and getting profitability. Yeah, they're generating revenue, but the question would be profitability on the console. So it might have hit that break point. But you're right. I personally am good. I'm happy. I got my PS5 Pro. The video gaming is my passion. It's my life. I have my career, I have my family, but this has been my defining characteristic since I was 3 years old, right?
Yeah.
Going on 40 years of gaming here. But the ecosystem is now scary. Because you've got 40 million PlayStation 4 users out there. You still have a couple of million monthly active PS3 users. You think about the Nintendo, the NES. If you compare it in inflation scale, it's right around where the PS5 is right now, when the NES first launched. And parents still bought the NES because their kids were like, "Mom, Dad, I want this. I want to be able to do this." And parents back then scrimped and saved and did what they had to make it happen, because one, it was the thing that all kids were into at the time, whether they wanted to admit it or not. It was the new hot thing.
It was the family console, right? I mean, wasn't
Yeah.
that one of the taglines for the Nintendo, the like fun for the whole family or something like that?
Yeah, that's specifically why it was in the toy section, because of the video game crash of '83. Nintendo said, no, it's not a video game system, it's a toy, which is why you really go down a rabbit hole, because that's why the NES in North America has the cartridge slide in the front and not the top, because they wanted it to look like a VCR. So it was a family item, right? In 2026, that kind of money is not something for people to scoff at. And to be quite frank, if my kid came to me, "Dad, I want a PS5 Pro," I'm gonna laugh. You have to. You gotta guide them and say, okay, let's look at something more realistic. Or if it's what you want to do, try to help them get to that goal through their own means and power and use support. But this is not I'm going to get this for Christmas and buy it for my kid kind of a purchase at this rate.
Yeah. I think the other thing, just to piggyback on what you're talking about, because you're absolutely right with Nintendo's original cost versus, if you adjust for today's inflation and stuff. And I'm not saying that the original Nintendo didn't have the games that we have now making fun of it. Obviously they couldn't. But one of the biggest problems with the current gaming ecosystem, and maybe you guys disagree and that's fine, the almost requirement for every player to have their own console. And again, that works for us. If you guys come over, we can play a few things couch co-op, like Streets of Rage 4. You could play the Turtles game, but we can't play something like if Stellar Blade had a co-op, or a better example, Neo 3. You can't both play Neo 3 on the same console. And that's fine, because it's insanely taxing on a CPU. I understand why we can't. But now if you have 2 or 3 children, and they all want to play this multiplayer game together, you need 2 or 3 consoles. And that's the potential problem I see with a lot of the popular games that are coming out. And again, I don't really know what you do about that. I'm not telling developers, hey, cut your resolution in half and cut the game in half so that both people could play it at the same time. That's like creative neutering. You know, you're neutering the creativity. But that's just such a higher cost analysis to think about when you have a family, because Nintendo had the family console, and now you have PlayStations and Xboxes that, while the whole family can play them, they might not be able to play them at the same time, and that is a problem. To me, that's just something that I've noticed. And I don't have children. I was thinking about this. If Lisa and I decided to have a child 10 years from now, if my child was even a third of me, they're going to want to have their own fucking consoles. And so is dad. So now I'm doubling down on what I have to pay for me to be able to play with my child. If that makes sense, you know?
No, it does, and that puts Nintendo in advantage.
It does,
real heavy
with
their games, especially since you've easily got the cheapest console on the market. You know how many Switches and Switch Lights I bought in the entire life cycle of that thing because of Animal Crossing New Horizon and Luigi's Mansion and Pikmin and Splatoon. I bought my Switch. I bought a light for 3 lights, and then I bought another regular Switch. All for this family. So yeah,
you can have that, or you can have almost a PS5 Pro. Like, think about that math. That's what sucks. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Oh no, there are tiers, right? Like, you can get into the PlayStation ecosystem bare bones for what, $550 was it?
Originally, now it's $650.
$650. Yeah. So like the Pro is like the Ferrari of vehicles, right?
Yeah, not
everyone needs a Ferrari.
For sure.
Not everyone needs a Ferrari. And you can play every single game that you can play on the Pro on the PS5. Are you going to get 4K 60 with games? Probably not, especially the newer titles. But the Pro is like the elite model if you're really serious about gaming. And usually if you're serious about gaming, you're going to game a lot. So you're going to find value in it. So
yeah, that's true.
There are tiers, right? And here's the thing, right?
Covering time.
These companies sell consoles at a loss, or at least they used to, and they depend on game sales. So in order to combat this, you're like, I'm a consumer. I want these consoles to be cheaper. What can I do? Buy new games at launch and don't play free-to-play games. It's simple.
Well, there is one other aspect of this, though, that, and correct me if I'm wrong, do you remember how much the PlayStation 4 Pro, PS4 Pro was when it came out? Do you remember its MSRP?
$399.
Do you remember what the PS4's cost was MSRP when it came out?
$299.
No,
$399. $399. Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking about with this, just future thinking. If the PS5 Pro, which you're absolutely right, is more of the Ferrari version of the console base, if that's $900, does not include a disk drive,
right?
So $980 once you get a disk drive, if you want to play
$1,000+ after tax.
Yeah. How much do you think the PS6 is going to be at launch?
Right.
Which is not the Ferrari. I mean, technically, if you think about it, it is the Ferrari for its time. Hopefully they do it justice. I'm just thinking. Yeah, that really pushes it to a different level that kind of sucks, you know?
I think they're unfortunately setting something up to be a little deceiving, and they're going to lower the price of the PS5 and all the models this holiday season. They're going to be like, oh, it's $100 off now. And it's going to be, yeah. So I think that's what they're going to do. There's probably multiple factors affecting this, but we are also catching up to inflation. We really are. I mean, games, I know, and inflation's getting even worse, right? Games at launch for this day and age, for this price, back then were $175 if you factor in inflation,
which is just wild.
So
insane to think about.
Be glad that they're not. And dude, GTA might be changing that. Honestly,
you think it'll be the first $100 game
easily.
Yeah,
minimum base. I think they're going to push $150 version with all the digital stuff and maybe a subscription or something like that. But this is where we see the game, because Nintendo just rose the prices of their games too. So yeah, it sucks across the board. It's going to suck later. I hope it doesn't stick, but me personally, I find incredible value in the console already, and just like my TV, I spare no expense.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one, and you're right, because we have adult money. We have adult money to be able to do this. But if you think about it, if you shrink the player base, because they're not going to get in, and you shrink the player base, we won't be affected because directly, because we're still going to be playing our games, but the studios are about to be affected. And if you're looking, if I were writing on the wall and I was working at Haven, if I was working at Bend, I'd start sweating bullets right now about my job. And I do not, and I don't mean to be a downer, but I would.
We're already seeing it. They're closing studios left and right.
It's a rubber band thing. We again, like right now, we might be in the sweet spot, but you pull the rubber band one direction, it thins out on the other side. I mean, that's how it works. And the studios let fewer sales means that either our prices go up even more again, because sales aren't happening as often as they are. It's a fine line when it comes to this kind of economic bullshit. And I call it economic bullshit because it's just so, again, we don't want a 5-hour cast, so we're not going to go into that. That we, applied economics for your daily life. You've seen your milk and eggs and your gas and everything else, that whether it's politically charged or just because, there's a huge famine, so meat's going up, like that might not have anything to do with any government in the world. It might just be because there was a bad year. That happens. But then when you add in all this other shit, it just becomes tinder to just ignite. So a question for you, Bob, because you have done a little bit more of the deep dive research and you are the retro gaming encyclopedia. Do you know how much of this is affected by rare earth metals and the price of that shit that's going on? Again, not politically, just wondering in general, because it's affecting a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, this is coming down simply because of the chip shortaging that's been happening. And if you look at history, so like you look at Nintendo, they dealt with the chip shortage because of the fire, and I want to say it was in Indonesia in the 90s that caused, when everybody else was on CD and then 64 was struggling, and they had the same thing with the Super Nintendo. In fact, that's a very misplaced rumor that Mario 3 was being shortchanged copies because Nintendo wanted to shortchange the product so they could make price increases. But it was because of the chip shortage back then that took place. And that's where that whole thing with Nintendo, not to be on a tangent, got that name with the amiibos and stuff. It all traces back to there, right?
Okay.
But this is all because of that. My hope is, if you've been paying attention, prices for the chips and the stocks have plummeted. So like you said, a rubber band. And it's for a multitude of reasons. I'll let this. I can spin up a whole special cast for that one. I'm planning on. We'll bring in Alex. He's the real expert on the PC side of the house. But that's really what it is. Is those prices have gone up because even you've got not just the RAM, but you're talking about the M2 storage drive that's included on the PlayStation 5 itself is also a high commodity item. And then of course you throw the political turmoil, economical turmoil, and all that stuff on top of there, and it's just bullshit. Like the cherry on. Yeah, that's just the cherry on fucking top at this point.
Yeah, we're in a war and we're going to the moon at the same time.
Right?
Okay. 1960 again.
All this, honestly, if you guys remember, a few years ago, was it 5 years ago? I think when cars were having like the first chip shortage we had that was affecting graphics cards and stuff. It wasn't affecting it like it is now. I mean, now it's just gone through the roof. But vehicles were so hard to find. They didn't necessarily increase the price so much. I mean, they did, but it was just hard to find them. So it was one of those supply and demand things too, on top of just, we can't afford to put this, like we can't have sunroofs in our cars because the chip that you need to operate this in the OS, it doesn't exist right now. So buy the car now at a premium and we'll install a sunroof later once all this gets fixed. Eventually that did start to level out again, which was great. So I'm kind of hoping, the problem is once the price is up for a company like Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo or any tech company, it's really, really hard to bring those prices back down. They don't tend to not do that.
Yeah.
So the only
Just like
way they won't
inflation.
is if people don't buy it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Once inflation is up, it's really hard to get back down. It's kind of like your new baseline, which just fucking sucks. Yeah.
Which does happen, but
yeah, 100% bad news. Doesn't affect us as much. It will though in the future. So,
but really for people listening, that if you don't have one, I mean, obviously it's too late now because the price goes up April 2nd, I believe. I think that's officially when everything takes hold.
Yes.
But be on the lookout for sales because I think Matt's right. I do think that they're going to run maybe a Summer Games Fest. Hey, $50 off if you buy it now with all these games or the holiday season. So here's hoping that it's not permanently this and never on sale again. That would really suck for anybody that's been on the fence. Had this news dropped sooner, we hopefully could have told people and said, get your asses in gear and go get one. But this was a surprise to all of us, unfortunately.
For sure. Yeah. So bummer. So hopefully it doesn't affect the gaming landscape too bad. But yeah, this will definitely shrink the footprint for sure. But PS5 is currently the 5th best-selling console of all time, or seventh, maybe 5th. I don't know, 5th or 7th. It's on track to surpass the PlayStation 4, which I think is the 3rd best-selling console of all time. I think it's the 5th right now. Maybe. I don't know.
It's a little bit lower because you got PlayStation 2, so it's irrelevant. Sorry.
Yeah. 5 for 5. But so is there any other news, or should we switch gears and talk about some happy, just what we're playing?
That's where I was going to segue to is let's talk about some good stuff in our life. Who would like, between you gentlemen, who would like to go first this week?
I'll get me out of the way since I will try to keep it short. 2 major things that I've been playing this week. I already said earlier in the cast that I've been really, really, really busy and for obvious important reasons, spending time with the family and all that after a pretty heavy loss. But what I have been able to play of Crimson Desert, I got probably 5 or 6 more hours in, which is not that much for me. And it's definitely not that much for that game. That game is fucking bonkers huge. I am enjoying it. But man, some of the convoluted not information, they just don't fucking tell you how to do certain things. And I know in the past I have praised movies and games for trusting the viewer/player to figure it out on their own. That's cool. I love that they do that in this game. I do think they swung the pendulum a little too far the other direction. Because there's some stuff that's just how do I do this thing that you want me to do? You think that it's a tutorial to explain to you how to do it. And ultimately it is a tutorial, but they don't tell you until after you've done the wrong thing 600 times that you can't even fucking remember what the right thing was. And then they're like, now you know what this pot's for. And I'm like, I actually don't, because I just hit a bunch of buttons and I don't know exactly what I did to recreate it. Also, if I do remember what I did, why do I need to know that? I am, with your permission, can I give you the slightest of small spoilers?
I'll never play it because you said this isn't a mad ass game, which I kind of want to know, like maybe 3 reasons why. Okay.
You would love it if not for all of its fucking problems, because it is like the best worst game that I've ever played. Like, it's so good when it's good.
Hearing shit like this about this game. It's like, this game is awesome but sucks, and you'd love it but you'd hate it. And I'm just like, what?
So everything takes forever to do in the game, but because of that, it is really rewarding when you finally, you're like, oh yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I'm playing a game, and this is a personal thing, this is a subjective thing. Sometimes I don't want to have to fucking do every little thing. I feel like in this game, if they had an instrument to learn, you would have to actually spend like 6 years learning the fucking instrument instead of just, spending enough time to make it feel like you've earned that play. And if that's the case, I'd rather just learn the instrument in real life. That's just me. And I know some people love that realism. That's cool. Starting a fire, pulling out all the ingredients to cook it. They do have some things that eventually, like once you've learned a recipe, you can just pick the recipe. Thank God. If I had to do Zelda Breath of the Wild bullshit every time, I would be furious. That's actually one of the things that turned me off Breath of the Wild. And this Crimson Desert feels a little bit like that in some regard, but you can just do fucking anything. And that's an awesome idea. The creativity is through the roof, but at a certain point, I want a little bit of guardrails to tell me if I'm just wasting 6 hours of doing fucking nothing. Like, is this a pointless endeavor? You can't solve this puzzle yet, but you don't know you can't solve this puzzle yet because you can't see the thing that you don't know that you might get later that you're not even sure what it is. Awesome in theory, but in practice, if you end up in the wrong spot, like this fucking happened to me for real. I was working on this puzzle for like 2 hours. And I am not looking up anything on the internet for this game. I want the experience to be authentic. I broke this rule because I was like, am I just fucking stupid? What am I doing wrong? I have run around. I've looked at all this shit. I have matched up all the things. And it turns out that I just didn't have something that I didn't know I was going to get, by the way. And it didn't even tell me, as in a game, like, you can't do this right now. You're wasting your time. I realized that does add to the realism. That's cool. But also fuck you for wasting my time, kind of. That's why I'm so in the middle. I am having so much fun with this game when it works, that when it doesn't work like that, I don't want to knock it too much because some people love that. But it's already going to be a 300 some hour game. I don't need it to be a 500 some hour game because of stuff like that. And that's not necessarily me being dumb. I don't want to I can mark this on my map, but the map is so huge. I'd have better luck charting the Earth than I would charting Crimson Desert. So that's really like kind of how big it is, which is a positive for it. There's so much to do in this game. It's nuts. But the small spoiler that I'm going to tell you guys, because it's not really a spoiler. You get this pot that sort of has like an infinite, you can put anything of any size in this pot so that you can carry stuff around that might be a statue, just as an example. I actually don't know what I'm going to need it for because I just did this today. But when they're showing you how to use it, you like suck this thing in this pot and it's like, you're going to need this for, and then it lists 15 things that I don't fucking know what any of that is. No idea what it means. And then there's the thing that I sucked into the pot that it's like if you want to spit out the thing, just use the pot. Well, I don't know what the thing is that I sucked into the pot, so I don't know when I'm going to need to use it. And I don't trust this game in 5 hours to be like, remember that pot? You're going to need it. No, I'm just going to walk up to this thing and they're going to be like, fuck you, dude, figure it out. And that's going to be kind of funny, but also kind of frustrating when April has 15 games coming out that I want to play. So I can't recommend it. Bo actually, I think it was his cousin, his friend, I think said it best, where this is like the best game that I've ever played that I can't recommend to anybody. That's kind of how I feel about it. And that's a weird place to be. I really applaud Pearl Abyss for what they've done. They have made a very good single player MMO that is deep. It is, it's almost too deep sometimes. But every time I make a discovery I stumble upon something that's really cool, there is that spark, that endorphin release of like, man, what a fucking cool experience this was. So I really love that. The combat still, it's getting better for me, but it's still a little on the fence because I'm getting better at it because skill points are very important. Certain things that I didn't know were not unlocked yet, because in the beginning of the game, you could do 2 of them. And then I kept trying to do them and they weren't working. And I was like, what the fuck? And it turns out I had to buy them again in my skill tree.
What?
I found that out today, by the way. What? Dodge, the way you dodge in the game, that's like a real dodge. You have to fucking buy it in your skill tree. 20 hours into the game, and I've been wondering why whenever I dodge, I just get fucking hit. And I'm like, what is going on? That's, again, part of that is me, probably, for not being thorough in the skill tree. But when you start the game with it, I feel like this isn't a Metroid where they just suck all your powers out of your suit. Like, what the fuck? But, So that's the one game. I really want you to check it out. When you come visit sometime, you can just see it. Because
I'd be down for that.
I would definitely not recommend buying it unless it was on a super sale for you, Matt. Bob, I think, Bob, because of just the way that you game, I do think that you would love it after you got over the hump. I really do. The hump is a big hump. It's a big old hump. So that's a big ask for somebody.
There's a fine line, like you said. There's a fine line to like that.
Yeah.
You got to thread that needle really good to get my attention because I get what you're saying with that game.
And I'm not complaining. Obviously, having a death in the family is not something to complain about, but it is, the timing was a bit of a bummer for this. It's a bit of a bummer for everything, but for this, because the only reason I bought it at launch was because everything else got delayed into April. I was like, I got time to at least beat it. I might not platinum it because it's going to be huge, but I can get through it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I lost like 2.5 weeks of time almost. And again, not complaining. Real life shit happens. It's that sucks. But now I'm just in this weird spot of, what do? I don't want to rush through it. And even if I did want to rush through it, I don't think I can, because I'm going to run into puzzles that are just fucking stupid. So,
just be glad the whole life stuff didn't happen next month, because then you just be totally screwed.
Dude, don't even put that in the universe. I don't need that in the universe.
So what you're describing, I got to say, with what you're describing on those puzzles, may I make a strong not recommendation for you then?
What's that?
Stay the hell away from Hell Is Us.
Yeah.
That game will just be like, you're like, I know there's a puzzle or there's something there, and I know I'm supposed to do something, but I have zero context on what I'm supposed to do. So I don't even know if I have everything, if I'm supposed to come back. Please, you'll just be just as frustrated with that one.
Yeah. Another weird thing about the puzzles, just last thing about Crimson Desert, and then I'll move on to the other one that'll be very quick. Some of the puzzles, and I don't know if it's a graphics setting thing. I'm not really sure. Certain things you have to match up a visual, like a wheel you spin or something that has a painting on it or whatever. I don't necessarily want to crap on Pearl Abyss for this, even though who else do you crap on? Some of those things are really, really hard to read, or the puzzle is so finicky. You're turning this wheel, and it might be, just to make it easy for you guys to understand, let's say there's a triangle on the top. That's your one clue. Like, the triangle's on top for the final part of the puzzle. You'll move it to where the triangle looks like it's on top. Nothing will happen. You'll move it a little bit more. Nothing will happen. You'll go move the 3 others that you're trying to line up, and after an hour of fucking around with micro movements, it'll look exactly the same as the first time you did it, and it'll finally unlock. And it's like, what? It's a weird...
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, and it's not... I don't want to say it's a bug, but it is frustrating. It's frustrating. It's one of those, come on. You don't have to give me the answer, but I fucking knew the answer, and you're not working as intended. Whether it's because I'm dumb or because you weren't clear enough in this puzzle. That's another thing that's kind of weird. I think they've gotten better with patches, but I don't know, because I was so far removed for about a week, and then I came back, and a couple puzzles were fantastic. And then today I was fucking around with one that did the same thing. I was like, what is going on? And then it finally worked. It's like, okay. So yeah, it's weird, but I do think for their first time making a big ass single player game, they're used to the MMO world. It's impressive. Let me just put it that way. It's very impressive. So the second game I'm playing, and Matt, you might want to just not listen to me for a minute, because it's mobile garbage. I have to. It's my Dissidia that I was so fucking mad about when they announced it, and I'm still fucking mad about it, because why? Give me a goddamn Dissidia game for my console that was like the PSP versions. Damn it all. But counterpoint, it's actually really fun. It's really fun. It's gonna be fucking pay to win bullshit. I know that. I'm just gonna play it because like I said earlier, I simp for Final Fantasy. I always have. I love the Dissidia universe. I love the Dissidia music that it pulls in tracks from every game, but there's also its own unique music that's pretty awesome. Actually, if people don't know, go listen to it. Dissidia. Dissidia's Final Fantasy music is awesome. Quick, what this is, it's 3v3v boss. So a little bit like the marathon, but it's not an extraction shooter. You're just trying to purify the crystals and destroy the boss before the other team. You can kill the other team can kill you while you're trying to do, but you're fighting the same boss. So it's controlled chaos, let's say. Matches are relatively quick. I would say between 5 and 12 minutes. I actually don't know, but it doesn't feel like they take that long. You can get steamrolled, you can steamroll, or it can be a really close match that is exciting. And sometimes when you lose, you won't be mad if it was like a fair fight and the other team just had better tactics. What will piss you off in this game is when the other team has paid for their skills. Because I mean, everybody has it's RNG gotcha bullshit for the skills, but duplicates of the skills can increase the levels of the skills and make them stronger, and so on and so forth. Here's the rub. Each character has unique skills, and then there's a shared pool of skills. Each character, at least at this point in the game, has two the rarest skills, rarity of skills that can make you briefly invincible while you're performing the attack. So my characters, I will just say I have Warrior of Light. The 4 that you can get at the beginning for free essentially is Warrior of Light from the first game, Lightning from 13, Terra from 6, and Cloud from 7. And then the other characters come from a character draw gotcha mechanic, which actually isn't that bad. You get character tickets relatively often, so whatever. Once you've unlocked the character, you can just use them forever. It's great. But we all talked about my shitty RNG. I do not have more than like 2 UR abilities for any of my characters. So my Warrior of Light has one. My Lightning has one. And that's it. I don't have one for Terra. I don't have one for Cloud. I don't have one for Onion Knight that I got today, actually. And I don't have one for Aroha. I got both of them today, but I didn't do any character ability draws. So when I'm playing other players, like Cloud, one of his UR abilities is Omni Slash. We're all familiar with Omni Slash from the game, from 7 and remake, or excuse me, 7 and eventually part 3. I'm assuming Omni Slash is going to be in there, but he's invincible for like fucking 20 seconds. Well, he just wails on you or the boss.
Dang.
And it kind of sucks when a Cloud comes in and he just does that and wins. Now, that's going to be the main problem with this game once the rankings are separated. When all these pay-to-win players are in the Omega rankings and all of us cheap bitches are in silver and gold, it'll level out, it'll even out. But it is kind of a bummer when you lose to that because you're like, well, I didn't have a chance. However, when you get a good game or a good team together and you can do some mechanics for a mobile game, it is very fun. I don't like that it's pay to win, but the art style isn't as bad as it was when it first launched or when it first did the beta. It's a cool idea for the art style. It's an isekai game where they're in our world in Shibuya Terminal, I believe, for most of it for now. They're over in Japan and they're like fighting bosses to keep them out of the world. So you've got Cloud in ripped jeans and you've got Terra in a plaid skirt and a sweater. And some of the costumes are actually, yeah. So Matt, that's when you can pay attention. There's some waifus in the game for sure. They're Final Fantasy girls, but
you need some screenshots of this.
They do have some costumes that I love, and they have some that I absolutely fucking hate. You're gonna have that in just about everything, but I play with everybody and almost everybody in their original outfits. The games they came from. The Warrior of Light one is pretty cool because he's just got a big long white coat and he doesn't have his helmet. He's got like a trench coat and his sword and shield, and that's pretty cool. But again, I played on my iPad. I hooked up my DualSense to my iPad because you can play this game with your controller. That was a big draw.
That's cool.
For me to try it. If it was just touch controls, fuck that shit. The fact that I can control with my DualSense, absolutely, I am on board. So, that if you're into mobile games, if you're into Final Fantasy at all, give it a chance. Just play it for fun. You don't have to win all the time. Like, don't waste $1,000 in this fucking game. It's just, if you're looking for something that'll take up 45 minutes of your day, you can play it and then you can move on. I simp for Final Fantasy, so I had to give it a try. And I actually do fucking dig it, and I hate myself for liking it.
I wish it wasn't freemium. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Because if it had been a complete experience that you had to like unlock as you played more or whatever,
I agree.
I'd be all for that. I paid $10 to fuck around with Balatro for 15 minutes a day when I'm on lunch or something, right?
Right. Yeah, this was a godsend when I was at home with the family And at night, when everybody would finally go to sleep and I just needed a little bit of time to myself, I just took my iPad out to the living room, used my DualSense, and I played 45 minutes because I couldn't play Crimson Desert. I couldn't play anything quote unquote real. So this was actually, it dropped at a really good time that I could just do it and get my Final Fantasy and keep myself sane during this family stuff. That was nice. But anyway, so if you have any questions about Crimson Desert or Dissidia, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to shut up and let these guys go.
What do you,
he's
would you
on,
like to go?
He's on Discord, so hit him up.
Yeah.
Would you like to go first, Matt, or you want me to knock this out? I got one game to talk about.
I have two.
Okay. All right.
So it's up to you. You tell me.
I'll just go, and then you can close us out. All right, we'll do it that way. I lied to you. I just have one other thing I got to mention. I am kind of getting back into the League scene because April 1st is April Fool's. It's the April Fool's events. So they change map with funny little things. And then like this Saturday, I was sitting at the computer and I was just kind of had the client open and I'm stoned off my ass and it's 2 a.m. and I'm just like, what do I do? And then I get a message from my kid who's in South Dakota. Hey, Dad, you want to play with me and my friends? And I'm like, sure, why not? Let's do this, right?
Sure. You technically have another one to talk about too, because I want to hear your thoughts on a new character.
Jin's the one that you play as in League, right? With the before
he's what you would call my main. Yeah.
How pissed are you going to be if instead of 4 it's 6, 7?
Oh my
god! Fools.
That would be.
I did say this was episode 67 in the beginning.
You did.
You mean episode 67?
There's no way I would. I would even play, but no, I don't. Curse you, and I hope you don't have toilet paper tonight when you go poop.
We don't, because we use bidets.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's true.
We're the leading experts on bidets.
But yeah, that's a social aside. Like I said last week, I finished Vesperia, had a great time with it, talked all about it. And I was like, you know what? I made a deal with Alex. I'm still in an RPG mood. I've got 2.5-3 weeks until Pragmata hits, really, which is going to be like the next put down everything game. So I said, screw it. I went ahead and bought and re-downloaded my save file for Legend of Dragoon because I previously played it for about 6 hours when I had premium, and then just never purchased it again. The deal is he's going to finish Death Stranding 2, and in exchange I will get the platinum in Legend of Dragoon because it's about the same time when you break it down. In fact, I think he has to do a little bit more. He has to do more hours, I think. So I got the better end of the deal. What can I say about this that's not going to sound really bad? This game is a early. Actually, I want to say it might even been late PS1.
Is PS1? I think it came out in 99. I think.
No, 2001 in Europe, so 2000 in North America. So this was a late PS1 era game from PlayStation Studios directly. So their early foray as a direct developer instead of just a publisher.
In the States?
2001 in Europe, 2000 here in the States.
Okay, 2000 here. So, okay, I was a year off.
Yeah. And so you factor in when the PlayStation came around. By this time, we had already had Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. We had Wild Arms. We had all that other good stuff at this point. So this was a later one. This is a very unique RPG. It's of the time. And what I mean by is it has the polygons. It's all... Sorry, you screwed me up. But it's of that era. The difference here is it's very focused in what it wants to do. Combat is very simplistic. You can attack, you can defend, and defending will, reduce damage taken and let you restore a little bit of your health. You can then go into Dragoon form after you build up a spirit bar, and that spirit bar in Dragoon form, you can attack and that's your opportunity to use magic. There you go. That's the summation of it. It likes to use rhythm-based combat, so you add additions to your attack is what they call them. That has different advantages, disadvantages. You just kind of figure out what you want to do, because after you use them so many times, you can level up, if you will, and kind of improve their bass. I use the PlayStation Rewind quite a bit with some of this because I don't know if it's the 30 FPS, if it's the porting, but there's something where sometimes I know I was dead on and then it still said I missed. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So I just rewind 30 seconds.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Combat's
convenient.
It is convenient. It is nice in that regard, especially when like you guys will remember this and nobody who hasn't played this will have knows context, but I'm using Albert and I'm trying to get Gust of Wind Dance maxed out. And that is a notoriously difficult addition. And he's slow to move and attack. So like his agility shit. So if I screw it up one time, I might not get to attack with him for an entire combat again and try again. So I just rewind. This is you know what? It's in the features. I'm going to use it. That's all I'm saying.
The game is old enough, and you're absolutely right. Just use that feature for sure.
Yeah, I would strongly recommend that. And I know it sounds like I'm crapping on this, but I promise I'm going to get around to the stuff I really enjoy. This is just some of the things you want to be warned of if you are going to reach into this game. It is very slow and very methodical. Load screens are there. It takes forever for things to happen. There is one advantage where you can go into the menu options and change your Dragoon transformations to short. So you get the first time, you get to see the cool cinematic transformation. And then after that, it does the quickened version. And by quickened, there's a delay. And then you finally see a somewhat animation. And then it finally delays again. And then you finally do it, your attack 10, 15 seconds later. So it is a little slow in that regard. Outside of that, this music is really, the music in this is really fucking good. This is awesome. Top tier PS1 RPG music. The battle music, the different towns, even the boss music, it's no One Winged Angel, but definitely give it a try for sure. I gotta say, outside of that, the story is good. It's a very good, it's original tale. You're talking about dragons, you're talking about fairies, you're talking about humans. It's kind of it's kind of like retreading the same ground, but it's told in a unique way. And the full motion video sequences in here are really what takes up a lot of the space on the disc, and you can tell. Full voice acting. The FMVs are some of the best. Quite frankly, short of a Square Enix one, because you just don't defeat the king that easily. But it is top tier. You can see that's where the little things were put in with the voicing. When you do your additions and you get the, Gust of Wind Dance, and it's like, oh, they actually said it. That's where a lot of the data came up, and I think you can see where they kind of had to trim down the game a little bit to make room for that. So keep that in mind if you are going to look at this game. It's still, there's something about it. It's addicting. I get irritated when I'm like, why is it taking forever to do this? Why did that attack not hit? Why is it that I can only carry through 32 items? And then if I pick up an item, all of a sudden I'm screwed, and you get a little frustrated. But when you do hit and you do your transformations, or if everybody is in full Dragoon form or Spirit Bar, and you can do the special command, like those moments really hit. So it's like almost Crimson Desert in that regard. Now that I'm revisiting this 20 years later, it's like the parts that I don't like, I really don't like. The parts I love. And you can tell there was where they put a lot of effort into that production. The localization, definitely, you can tell Sony was early on as a actual developer in spreading their wings as PlayStation Studios, because you see things where, I'll give you an example. One of the characters, he does Flurry of Sticks. You go into the menu, the edition name is Flurry of Sticks. He says Flurry of Sticks when you do it, but on the screen, they always show the name of the edition when you complete it. It says Fairy of Sticks, Ferry of Sticks. So it has a little bit of that rough edging in the localization, which is probably a good story. I need to go look up and see how that became and how they didn't
fix it. Actually, I'm glad that they kept it the same. That's just, hey, we're not going to put any more work into this because we want a fucking remake. Damn it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cool that they just left it alone.
It's fine.
That's my next point is I think this game is ripe for a remaster, not a remake. Or not sorry, other way around. not a remaster, but a full remake and update. Because if you could smooth out some of those those hard edges that people are going to be turned off on. If you're interested in RPGs, just know this is a tough one to swallow because we haven't gotten anything updated. This is a straight port. Give us a remaster or a remake of this and it will sing. Holy shit. It will clear up everything. You can expand on the story. You can really do a lot of cool stuff about it, because under the hood, there was some experimentation that I really appreciated. Like experience, for example, you get 1,000 experience, not that much. You get like 100 experience, and that 100 experience isn't given to each character. It's distributed amongst the party. So you have to really be wanting to grind. And when you do level up, instead of going from 0 to 100, and then I hit level 2, now I'm at 0 and I got to go to 150. It's I'm at 100, and then to hit level 2, I need to go to 200, or so on and so forth. So it steps up, kind of like D&D, if you gentlemen know what I'm talking about. There's some really cool design elements there that I think if we could get this game off of the fucking PS1, it would be an amazing RPG.
You know who would do a really good remake of this?
What?
Too soon.
Damn.
That's what I was gonna say. So upset. I'm still so upset about it.
I know, right? Yeah. Give me Legend of Dragoon. You know what? I'm not gonna.
All right, Bob. One question about this, just because you're revisiting it now. If you have one, who's your favorite character in the game?
I am still a fan of Dart. Yeah,
main guy. All right, I like it.
Yeah. You look at his stats. He's basically like even on stats across the board.
Sure.
I really like his Dragoon magic. I love his Dragoon armor, the design, the character. I really like him in that regard. I also really like him as a character. Like he's being stoic, almost like Cloud or Squall. Just, this is what I want to do, and I am not interested in anything else. So you can fuck off, including the love interest part, which you guys know. So that's why I really appreciate him. He's a very. They say it's one dimensional, but I like it as a character who's true to who he is and doesn't flop around for the sake of what's happening in the story and just be like, oh, well, now he's a good guy because that's where the party's going or whatever, right?
Yeah. I was just curious.
Nice.
Yeah. Very nice.
God, just give us a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and if I had to, and if I had to, my second favorite is our favorite giant Kongo.
Yeah.
Just kind of shows up. I like you guys. I'm gonna hang out with you, and you have no choice in the matter. And that's his whole arc. In all seriousness, that's how he gets to the party. There's backstory, but he just shows up and he's like, "I follow you guys. You seem like good guys."
Beautiful.
You know, 20 years ago, for real, when because the game was only 26 years old, so this game was 6 years old at the time. Because I was in undergrad, I was thinking about writing up a treatment to try to make a film of Legend of Dragoon. Like, if I could go to Sony and say, hey, I think we could make a really badass movie of this game. The movie wouldn't be 50, 70 hours long, though, which is fine because you trim the fat. The shit you're talking about, that everything's slow and takes forever, that is part of the game's charm, but it's also part of its frustration. I think Legend of Dragoon would make for an awesome film, personally.
Yeah, it would. No, it's a cinematic game. 100% a cinematic game.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Clair Obscur was inspired partly by this game, so
yeah. I could see that. Clair Obscur's top button presses are a lot more forgiving and consistent.
Yeah. For sure. A little more tight.
Yeah. And
awesome.
I got to say that the one frustration is when I said you can defend and you can get health back, you also take reduced damage. If you defend, for whatever reason, the AI is coded in this game. If you just have one party member, you're like, all right, I'm going to top them off real quick. The AI will just gang the fuck up on that character. Like, why did you defend instead of attack? It pisses me off every time.
You're absolutely right. Praise.
Nice.
Gust of wind dance. Now that's in my head. Thanks, Bob.
Oh, you know what we say at my D&D night, right? Harpoon.
I'm not mad about it.
But yeah, that's it. I'll continue to ride this out for the seeable future, and then we'll see if I got time before Pragmata. I should. It's just a matter of what I play before then.
So
maybe
no marathon right now? Are you just taking a break from marathon?
I'm kind of on a break right now. I want to. I'm going to try. That's for sure. Because Marathon really is a good fucking game. But I also know it's a live service game that I can just bounce out of and then back in whenever I want.
For sure.
Yep. We did that a little bit with Borderlands. That's the other game.
Oh yeah.
Borderlands 4.
I guess I should probably mention that, huh? I totally forgot. I paid for the DLC for Borderlands 4.
Me too.
Matt,
Me too.
Yeah, he was like, dude, you need to play the new character cache. I don't know. Have you played him yet, Caleb?
I know that he's probably going to be my worst character because he's got RNG. I'm just like, nope, not going to work for me. But I'm going to do it. I just haven't yet.
He has some RNG elements to him, but he also has other elements that are more consistent. So his entire thing is, as you perform certain actions and things off the skill tree, you get what's called fortune stacks. Okay. These fortune stacks, you get up to a certain amount, and every time you gain one, you have an increased chance when you kill an enemy or automatically reload, not manually, automatically reload your gun. You go into this trance state that like increases everything across the board. Okay. So it's a constant balance of cycling through those. I really love him as a character. I'm doing the card slinging edition. So when he pulls up his cards and then he answers that trance state, he can shoot them unlimited for a certain amount of time. So I'm just throwing electric, acid, whatever, just nonstop, constantly destroying the enemy.
So you're Borderlands Gambit.
Yeah, exactly. You have three modes: Gambit, summon plants, or totems as they call them, or you can do gunslinger mode where you just pull out a couple of pistols or shotguns and just go automatic shooting.
Gunzerker.
Yeah, Gunzerker. This is an amazing class. I love the hell out of Cash, but this is not a $30 DLC. Mm-hmm. And 2K and Gearbox, get your head out of your ass. This game is still not been improved upon since launch.
Really?
It's still broke as fuck.
God damn it, Randy.
It's still so fun. Like I hopped in with my girl Vex. I got the $30 DLC too, because fuck it, whatever. There's only 2 major story DLCs this time around, and they're each $30, which is pretty crazy. But it adds a lot. It adds new levels, new enemies, new character. Sure. But yeah, I rocked my girl Vex. We're doing some Ultimate Vault Hunter stuff. I think we're on Ultimate Vault Hunter level 3. And it was so fun to get back in there. You have to join us. It's just kind of like a pick up and play. Yeah. And yeah, let's tank the frame rate again with Harlow.
Yeah, my Harlow is Ultimate Vault Hunter level 5 or max because of course she is. So yeah. I feel like that would be a lot of fun anyway, but now that I know that I've done all the hard shit, would not recommend doing any of that solo, by the way. I did all my Ultimate Vault Hunter stuff solo.
My God.
Because
you're a unit.
Fucking sadist. But I would. Did you guys end up finishing the DLC then?
No, we haven't even touched it. We haven't even started it.
So you just did the character. You just played Cash. You didn't.
Yeah, because I just started him at level 30, and I'm trying to get him up while we're working on the Ultimate Vault Hunter. Which, by the way, there's a new level cap. It's up to 60.
There it is.
Oh my.
Yeah. Okay. So, and there's like a new things you gain throughout the game for. It's just for cosmetics, but they're like vault cards. So. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a new shop. It's really cool. You do things and then you get vault cards, and then you cash those vault cards in for premium weapons like legendaries or cosmetics for your character.
That's nice. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
We will. I honestly, when it released, I remember because I saw it at like 11:30 or 12 before I was going to bed. It was news of the games you play, and I meant to text you guys, but that was the next morning. I had an appointment at 7:00 a.m. or something like that. I was like, I got to go to bed. I'll text him tomorrow. And I just fucking forgot because I thought we could play this together. And then obviously I didn't have time anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But yes, we are going to play. We're going to do this DLC and the next one for sure. Because I bought the Super Jesus Deluxe Penis Edition, whatever it's called. Because the Borderlands DLC has always been pretty damn good. So
always
I
hits.
Did take that risk, even though I don't like paying for something that's not out yet.
Yeah.
A la Assassin's Creed Shadows. People got screwed on that, but
there's 2 different paid like tiers and content. So did you get the ultimate like Jesus Christ Borderlands edition? Okay, so you get the bounty stuff and the story DLC, because the bounty stuff is also like $11 each, and there's like 5 of them. And then the story DLC, there's 2, which recently released, Mad Ellie and the Vault of the Damned, and then another one this fall, I believe, or early summer or late summer. So yeah, I mean, if you buy them all a la carte, which whoops, oh well.
But still, you're wiser in general to do that as a gamer, not necessarily. I mean, you guys are, but you've all played Borderlands. You probably fucked up because you knew that the DLCs were on point. But for your average gamer, absolutely do not give them money before you know what the fuck you're buying. That's the dumbest thing in the world. I admit it. I did that for this, but I also really like Borderlands. So once I knew,
and notoriously they've had amazing DLC, and from what we've heard, this is really good. It's short, but it's really good, and it adds a lot of new shit, which I can appreciate. So cool. Yeah, it's getting like 8s across the board. I'll have to look at
the DLC is that's kind of what I expect from a Borderlands DLC, because you're gonna rub some people the wrong way with the humor and stuff. But I'll take a solid 8 out of 10 for a DLC. That's great.
So we'll play more, and we're gonna stream it for you all.
Let's do it.
Twitch.tv/Shapes of Gaming. So,
I'll crash.
I'm still playing back.
Oh
yeah. I promise, since Matt reminded me, that's all I'm playing this week.
I was going to talk about it, but you've been playing the new character. I'm still playing my girl Vex, so I wanted you to go into it and the new playstyle. So I'm glad we touched on that. So yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying Legend of Dragoon, but it's showing its cracks, of course. I'm kind of going through a bit of a similar situation. It's not showing its cracks too bad, because they really did a really good job on this remaster definitive edition. Before I get into that, I did platinum Ni no Kuni.
Congratulations.
Fucking loved every bit of that game. The battle mechanics needed some work, but we talked about that on the last cast. And very rarely I platinumed it and I didn't put it down. I went back and I played about another 5 hours of it because I wanted to catch more familiars. And that is very rare that I do that, because usually when you platinum, you see the whole game through. But I just wanted to hit some higher percentages in the Wizard and Companion, and I was still having a blast with it. 95 hours in.
The game is so good.
I told Bob, if I had to rank JRPGs and I could only do it from one from each IP, this would easily be in my top 5.
Yeah.
So
it was just very, very special. And for the listeners, I think on the last cast, I told Matt when he platinumed it to post a picture so that I could also post a picture of mine to see exactly what the time difference was. And he was just over 13 years after I platinumed mine on PS3. I played on PS3, but we both did it in March. I actually did not remember that. I think it was March 9th and March 17th or so. I don't remember the dates, but it was really, really close. It was weird. 13 years almost to the day.
Wow.
He finally did it. He finally played the game that we've been bitching at him to play. And I'm so glad that you
platinumed it. Yeah, I platinumed it. That platinum's difficult. There's some crazy RNG in there for some of the last few trophies, but I loved the shit out of the game. If you like JRPGs, Pokemon, Harry Potter, even Tales, there's a lot of Tales in there. Go check out this game. It's a little old. It does show its cracks a little bit, but man, I enjoyed it through and through. So thanks again for that recommendation, both of you. I know
music is so good in that game, right?
Oh, it's so good.
It's all of it's great.
Yeah. So that game actually inspired me to finally revisit the game I'm currently playing, which is Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. So both made by Bandai Namco. Tales of Vesperia is like a late Gen 3, early Gen 4 Tales, originally released on the Xbox 360 in 2008. And then they released the Definitive Edition somewhat recently, like 7 years ago on PS4 in 2019. In the grand scheme of things, right? And I started it on launch, but then I had to put it down. Like these Tales games are beefy. Like they're 80-hour just base story games, as you know, Bob, and as you know, Caleb. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're big boys for sure.
Oh yeah. And I got about 35 hours in and put it down, and that was on launch. So around like 2019, I was so inspired by the Ni no Kuni that I saw so many elements of Tales games in Ni no Kuni, I was like, I gotta revisit Tales of Vesperia. And very rarely do I go from genre to genre, like back to back. But I'm so glad I did. This game is incredible. I'm playing it on PS5 Pro. It runs like upscale 4K 60. The cell shading's beautiful. It's probably one of the best games in the series. It's notoriously like in a fan favorite, right?
Oh yeah. It was
Yeah.
360 exclusive at the time, right? When
360
it came out.
exclusive. I still have my copy. Yeah. So when it came to PlayStation, I was like, oh shit. So I finished it on the 360. I didn't really complete it. Completing Tales games, platinuming it is just hundreds of hours of an ordeal. So never did that. Of course, it's by Bandai Namco, and it's a JRPG. So it follows Yuri Lowell and his trusty dog companion that's a playable character. You get this early on, called Rapide. And he's a pipe smoking dog.
I'm in.
Dude, right? I sent you a picture of Rapide, and I'm like, this is a playable character. And like, he's a playable fucking character in your party. And I'm not going to tell you how many party members you get in this, but if you've ever played Symphonia, it's close to that amount. And it's more than usually any JRPG. There's a lot of playable characters. And they actually added 2 new playable characters in this. So that's really cool for like a remaster. Honestly,
sure.
It's kind of on the line of a remake, but a very well-known character. I mean, he's literally on the fucking cover. If you ever played it, he's playable. So our boy is now playable, which I was kind of bummed he wasn't playable in the original, but this is in the marketing for the definitive edition. Flynn is a permanent playable character. I won't tell you the other playable character because it might be a little bit of a surprise. But that character was also like, fans gave Bandai Namco feedback and they're like, dude, like this guy is literally on the cover with Yuri and like, we can't play as him. And they're like, yeah. So I think they scrapped it and then they added it into the remaster, which is incredible. And that's why I'm like, oh, I'm all in. So I started this around the end of Act 1, about 35 hours in. And I think I'm like 60 hours in now, almost about to finish Act 2, I believe.
Oh wow,
that's nuts.
So yeah, it's like an 80-hour game. I played a ton of Tales games. I'm a big fan of Tales, and this is one of my favorites. So the voice acting is interesting. There are some porting issues and some localization issues because I'm pretty sure I've heard 3 different voices for the same character. A different one in skits, a different one in engine cutscenes, and then a different one in game cutscenes. Like it's but Troy Baker is the main voice actor for Yuri Lowell. So
was he back in 2008?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I knew that he would have been around then doing work, but I didn't know if he had jumped into Tales. So.
Yep, we got young Troy as Yuri, and Yuri's an incredible main protagonist. He's ton of character building. The whole party, builds character. A ton of twists and turns. It's your typical JRPG, and the world is amazing. The gameplay, the combat is, I think, the best in the series. Arise was pretty good, but this one, like, you have your arts, right? And you have your tiers of arts, ARTES. Those are like your abilities. And you have your arts, your arcane arts, burst arts, altered arts, and you chain those and you can get like a really long combo going. And then you have your skills that you learn from your weapons. So after every battle, I know you just went through this with Bergeria because Bergeria took this from, I think Vesperia was the first to do it in the series. Final Fantasy IX did it before Vesperia. But after every battle, you're like, oh, skill popped. Oh, going into my menu, checking the equipment. And yeah, so you're constantly in the menus, tweaking around things. The cast of characters is awesome. It's just a fun little adventure where, you start doing missions and helping little old ladies, and before you know it, you're fighting God, right? It's a fucking JRPG.
Yeah, right.
That's how it goes.
That's kind of it. But my main question is, you heard 3 different voice actors for this character.
Yes.
But more importantly, were they saying harpoon?
No, the
Damn it.
audio balancing needs some work too. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it might be because they added those new characters in that they had to use older clips that, so that's why they kind of like, like pigeonholed them in there. So I don't know. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It looks like an anime, and there are anime cutscenes. Not on the level of Studio Ghibli, right? But
are they like a Lunar almost? Like the
yes.
Okay, because that's what I think of when I think of anime cutscenes done well in a video game. I think that Lunar nailed those, and anything that steals from that or just uses that, I'm on board. Vesperia is one that I never actually played. I was going to get it on my 360 back in the day, and honestly, I don't know what came out around the time. I just never did. And every single person that I've spoken with, whether they were a Tales fan or not, it's like their favorite 360 game, other than Halo 3. It's that Halo 3 are the 2 big ones, and Gears trilogy. But yeah, I've always wanted to play it. I will play Vesperia someday. So you would recommend this version?
Yes, the definitive edition is great, and it runs very well. Looks awesome. Like I said, there's 2 new playable characters. The localization needs some work, but it's not too jarring. And it's just awesome. There's crafting, there's alchemizing or alchemization or whatever. And a thing that I really appreciate with these older games that we don't see often in the newer games is every item has its own little graphic icon. And I like that.
That's cool. So you can just get a quick look and know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you get like a rock and it's in, I don't know, or like a leaf, and it's just like, oh, there's like a little fucking icon for it. It's so cool. In like weapons, you can like see the weapon. Of course, you can see it in the battle, but yeah. And this going off the heels of Ni no Kuni for tweaking the game, like the party members and how they act. Oh, it is night and day. You can go granular, and this was the first title in the Tales series that really took it to a granular level. Like you can say, all right, my healer is going to be away from the battle, targeting a different enemy if she's going to attack it. And then she's going to heal people once they get to a certain threshold, but she's not going to use more than 75% of her TP, technical points. And she can use items, but only if I approve them in the battle. And then she can use the fatal strike. And it's just, you can get super granular with each character. There's 4 playable characters in the battle. And I got to say, sometimes I go around and I look for battles because this battle system is so fucking fun.
Well, I know when you guys were talking about Vesperia on the last or 2 casts ago, I think, you mentioned the Gambit system from Final Fantasy 12. And that's really exciting because once you figure out how the Gambit system works and you get all the Gambits and you can tinker, it's actually a lot of fun, a lot more fun than I think people gave it credit for at the time. But it also reminded me, and it was not this granular because the game came out in the 90s, but Star Ocean 2 had where you could tell your characters, your party members, what skills they could use, what skills they couldn't use, and when to use items, when not to use items. And that was something that made each battle a lot more exciting because you could focus on your own character. And if you needed to swap around and use something that you told them not to for a certain fight, you could just do that. So I assume in Vesperia, you can switch to other characters in battle, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
because
that's
on the fly, not as good as Bergeria. Bergeria, you can just like switch and it just does it on the fly. But this, you have to go into the menu, but you can then choose which character you are controlling.
Yeah, that's good because I know some games, and I'm struggling to remember a specific one, but where you're controlling multiple, or you have multiple party members, 3 or 4 in a battle, and you can't change who you are in that set battle. You have to change outside the battle, and that always frustrated me.
Symphonia was like that.
Okay, that might be what I'm thinking of then, because it was older JRPGs, and I was just thinking to myself, fucking why? I mean, I know CPU, technical situations, but still, it's much more exciting when you can, you might not want to be a melee character for this battle. You might want to be a mage, and you don't know that the first time you play that fight. So that's exciting to be able to do.
Yeah. And just like with Symphonia, you can do shortcuts on the buttons for your characters that are in the battle. So you have like you can just flip up on the right stick, and your healer will start healing the person that's hurting the most.
That's
So,
cool.
or you can tell your mage, hey, do a fire spell with a flick down on the right stick. And then you can even go further and you hold L1 and that changes your right stick shortcuts. And then you can, and I have it on the paddle. So it's
yeah.
awesome.
So you've got
Yeah.
essentially like 2 wheels, I guess, since you can swap between the two. Or...
5. So you
it's
have 3 with Yuri and 2 with your party members.
Ah, I see. That's great.
Yeah, because with Yuri, you have if you hold up and hit X, your X is the attack. Those are 4 attacks. And then you can hold L1 and hold like an X. It's like a fighting game, honestly, with the combinations. Sure. So it's amazing.
I mean, they did a good job in Arise. Obviously, that came after all of these.
Yeah.
So
I'm so excited for the next one.
Me too.
Yeah. Arise was it was great. Amazing Tales game, but it did leave a lot out that we've had before. So yeah, it was kind of a condensed Tales game. And lastly, one of the main reasons I play these games is the soundtrack.
Oh, for sure.
And holy fucking shit. Every town, every different dungeon, and there's probably 30 dungeons, has its own unique soundtrack. And you're going in and you're just like, oh, hell yeah. Like I got to this ice place and it was just like a new fucking track I've never heard. And I'm like, yeah. So Tales games have amazing soundtracks and they're very ranged too. So
I feel like Vesperia has the favorite, doesn't it? Isn't it the favorite soundtrack of the whole series? Or if not the favorite, I think it's top 3 for sure.
It's up there with Symphonia. So, and Bergeria actually has and Grace's F has a really good soundtrack too. But yeah, it's one of the fan favorites across the board for everything, really. Combat, I think notoriously, Vesperia has the best combat of the series.
Okay.
So yeah, I would argue that I like Bergeria's combat a little better. Because there's some things when you take down a monster and it's like laying on the ground, its hitbox goes away, which sucks.
That's stupid.
I know. And then you can solve this by telling all your party members to attack someone else when I'm attacking this guy, because I'm trying to get a combo on him. Because you're chasing grade the entire time. And that's the thing about these Tales games. You get a set amount of grade per battle, and then the grade, once you beat the game and you go to New Game Plus, grade allows you to kind of break the game, gives you maybe 5 times XP. On this one, you can do each skill point costs 1 point when some of them cost 15.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm actually excited to finish it and then play it again.
That's great.
Because of the grade shop. And with this remaster, they didn't open the grade shop straight up, right away. Because with Bergeria and Grace's, for the returning people that have played the originals, they opened the grade shop right away. Bob broke his fucking game hour 1. But in Vesperia, Vesperia was one of their first forays into the remaster. They actually remastered Symphonia, but I really wanted to replay Symphonia originally on the GameCube, 03, 04. But they fucked it up. On the GameCube, it runs 60 frames consistently.
You mentioned that on one of the other casts, and I remember
on the
sitting in my
remaster,
car.
It's 30.
Yeah, that's just fucking travesty. I don't know what.
So yeah, I would have started with Symphonia, but yeah, Vesperia, 60 frames, gorgeous, loving it. And I'm about, I think, 60 hours in. So, and a lot of shit's
another 240 to go,
right?
For that platinum.
I am not going to platinum. There's a speed run in this fucking game, which I will not be doing. 15 hours.
Even on New Game Plus? I mean, you can't just beeline it on New Game Plus?
I mean, I played this game. I beat this game. I'll look into the trophies after I get done with it.
Sure,
but
yeah.
In the strategies, but I don't know, man. If they're like, oh yeah, it's easy, just skip everything, and I might do it. But that's even 10 hours of just speed running a game that is not meant to be speed ran.
Yeah, I had that problem with Final Fantasy IX when I was doing the platinum. Not the problem that it was difficult. The problem was I don't want to play the game this way.
Right.
I don't like just to get I mean, sorry, spoilers for a game that came out 26 years ago. To get one of your characters ultimate weapons, you have to get to the end of the game in, I think it's under 10 hours. It's either 10 or 12. It's crazy. I never did it on PlayStation 1 because it just didn't sound fun. I was like, fuck that. I don't even care.
Right.
And then when it came to, re-release on PS4 and PlayStation Network, I thought, I'm never going to get the platinum because of stupid fucking jump rope trophy anyway. But I always wanted to know what the Excalibur 2, sorry, that was the name of the weapon. Oops, I wasn't going to say it. What it was called, and what its skills were. I never even bothered to look it up back in the day. Because it notoriously, the Play Online guide was garbage. So you had to go online to fucking find your answers. It's like, why even have the guide? So I never actually knew. And then when my sadistic bullshit ass decided to do the jump rope and I got it, I was like, well, I was going to get the weapon anyway just to see, but now I kind of have to. And honestly, that was the least fun I had was because I just bum rushed the game, and you get to use the weapon for 15 battles, maybe. I mean, you can run around and try to get in a random fight, but so what at that point? That's fucking stupid. So
I don't ultimate weapon at the end, right?
Yeah, and they didn't even. It wasn't even a new game plus in 9, at least in Final Fantasy 9. You just start over. It was like, well, what the fuck? I didn't even get to keep it for subsequent playthroughs. That's stupid. So sorry, I didn't mean to derail you there. But 15 hours for a Tales game.
But there is New Game Plus, and that's why I love the shit out of Tales games for doing that, because they just get better and better with each concurrent playthrough. So I think I'm doing pretty good on grade, and we'll see. But yeah, I'll be playing this pretty much up until Pragmata. Yeah,
or Hades 2. You'll be playing until Hades 2. Maybe.
Here's the thing, all right?
It's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time. I just don't know. Honestly, I don't know what mood I'm going to be in. I have been fucking waiting for 6 months for Hades 2. I've talked about it. Love the original. We recently picked it up. But Pragmata, man, it's going to be, I think it's going to be really good. So it just
They're all going to be good. I know. April is going to be insane.
I know. So I guess I just got to put all my toys in a pile and be like, what do I feel? So, but Hades is the first one that drops. Now, here's the thing.
It's clobber time.
Damn it. If it doesn't have a physical edition, I might be a little more hesitant to buy it on launch.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen a physical edition yet. And there are rumors that they might be waiting. And Alan Wake got me. Okay. I'm not going to get God again. Or am I? I don't know. We'll see how I feel.
I thought that I had read there was a physical edition coming for Hades 2 with a bonus soundtrack. Something, right?
Yeah, I sent that.
Yeah,
they
said,
we're going to do the same that we did on Switch 2, and we're going to include the soundtrack and a bunch of cool shit. And I'm like, oh,
that's
awesome.
right.
So, but I don't see it yet.
But when? Where is it?
Yeah. When? Right? So, yeah, I just don't know. April's fucked. I think we might have an episode dedicated to all these games like we did for September. We just got to figure out an April song title.
Are you gonna do 7 games spoiler cast all at the same time? All right, we have to finish all of them and talk about them all in one 19-hour cast.
You won't be invited then.
No. Well, Hades 2 is sitting at a 95. We know that game is incredible.
I'm sure it deserves it. Yeah.
It deserves it, but I can buy it and support the dev. But they got their money back. To be honest, I've already waited 6 months. Pragmata sitting right there. I am more worried about spoilers for Pragmata than I am for Hades 2.
That's a good point.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. So I just don't know.
I'm just fucked. I've all the games that I get.
I'm only doing Hades 2, Pragmata, and Saros. That's it.
That's cute.
Replaced Hades 2, Pragmata, Saros, Diablo.
Yeah, I'm doing that too.
That's all of them.
Pragmata, Hades 2, Mouse PI, Saint Slayer, Vampire Crawler, Saros.
Well, you're just fucked, sir. I honestly think Saros is going to be good. I really do. And I'm very excited for it. I might let that one breathe, though, because my experience with Returnal was soured because the one of the trophies were bugged.
Oh,
like
at the launch.
Gold one. Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, Tales of Vesperia. Love it. Enjoying the hell out of it. Highly recommend it for any JRPG fan. And I'll probably report more on it the more I play. I don't know how much more I can report on it because it's just kind of progressing the story.
Sure.
So who knows? But yeah, we're going to play some more Borderlands, hopefully, and we'll report on that. But yeah, do you want to go into a 2-hour conversation about bidets now? Because we're done with the actual cast. No.
Yeah, you guys.
The bidet spoiler cast.
The bidet spoiler cast. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spoilers. It shot water on my bum.
Up your ass. Yes.
That's
Yes.
it. That's the spoiler. It cast water on my bum. Yeah.
Wateriga?
Wateriga. Yeah. It's because I've been playing Dissidia. It's just I'm using all those water spells.
It's the Blastoise water cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you're cooking with Squirtle.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's been episode 67. I mean 47.
57.
57. This has been fun. I hope our April Fool's joke goes over well with the community. But yeah, we're gonna get the hell out of here. I'm gonna get this posted right away so it hits April 1st. Because the more time passes, it'll just say April 1st for our recent episodes. So it'll be like, oh, it's an April Fool's joke. So yeah, we'll get it squared away. But thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you all. And keep the conversation going, keep gaming, and have a great rest of your evening, night, morning, whenever the hell you're listening to this. And maybe you're on the toilet using your bidet listening to this. Who knows?
Peace.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
Shapes of Gaming is a podcast shaped around gaming and, most importantly, our community. That's you. It is written, created, and recorded in beautiful Colorado Springs, Colorado, by me, Matt Stenson, and my good friend Bob Harriman. If you would like to be part of this amazing community, be sure to like, subscribe, or follow us on all the social media platforms or the podcast app of your choice. Thanks so much for listening, and always remember, keep the conversation going, and most importantly, keep gaming.